Applebee's thick and juicy house sirloin, now only $9.99.
You're watching Fox 18, your home for Chicago Bears preseason football action.
When I get on third, what you do, you hit the ball up the middle, you get a base hit.
Major League Baseball Productions presents
Oh, what a play!
This Week in Baseball, the show that goes beyond the game.
Let's go to work, come on.
Swung out and belted!
Oh, yeah. This one is over.
This week, we travel to San Francisco, to a city and ballpark that always looks good. So does Giants outfielder Fred Lewis, as you find out later in the show.
I like that one and the tight gray one.
The tight gray one. Show off my the seat.
But before we get to Fred, let's check out this team. One that features some of the most promising young arms in all of baseball.
What makes me excited as a coach is the great young pitching staff.
We've also got more on Tim Lincecum later in the show. But it's safe to say that no pitcher in the last 3 years has dominated the National League quite like Tim.
Fastball, strike three call to the inside corner. Ellis swings and misses, strike three, and there is number 13.
That's all you expect him to do, just go out there and be able to compete like he did last year, and good things will take care of themselves, and hopefully the team will ride along with it.
Also pulling the train is Matt Cain, who currently leads the Giants with 5 wins and a 2.40 earned run average.
Matt Cain throws a complete game. That's a rarity anymore. That's his first of the year.
He's a guy that can overpower you, or he can use the secondary pitches.
Beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner. Matt Cain comes up big.
Even though he's our number 3 starter, we feel like this is a number 1 or 2 guy.
And as Tim and Matt continue to mature, they benefit from the guidance of veterans Barry Zito and Randy Johnson, who might get his 300th win this week.
His presence on the team is big for us. I mean, a guy that's been around for a long time, knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, is definitely somebody you want to listen to.
But a starting staff can only get you so far, and the Giants' bullpen is there to seal the deal. This All-Star had 41 saves last year. Do you know who Brian Wilson is?
If you don't know who Brian is by now, you've probably been living under a rock for a little while. But Brian, he gets out there, and he is an emotion guy. And it's fun going out and watching him come into the 9th inning.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 pitches and out.
Still, you need to score runs to win. And last year, the Giants finished next to last in the league with just 640 of them. But they know what's required to change that culture.
We have to do all we can to manufacture runs. We have to scratch and claw. We have to execute.
That ball gets by him, you got to beat that pitcher.
We're trying to do all that we can with what we have.
Benji Molina sends everybody home. Giants win 1-0.
Just like the pitchers, the other young talent on this team is getting the chance to learn from the veterans.
Andy Wynn is a true professional, plays the game correct, plays the game hard.
Randy Wynn makes a sliding catch to end the inning. He can play some right field, folks.
A new shortstop in Renteria, so we'll get more offensive production from there.
At the wall, gone! Edgar Renteria with a grand slam!
And in center, there's the gritty Aaron Rowan.
And he dives and he makes the catch.
A man who knows what it takes to help nurture young talent.
I think it's definitely being able to make yourself accessible to them. A lot of it goes by the way you play the game.
Rowan hits one high. It's a deep.
And then you got the youth and the exuberance younger guys bring to the table.
Way back there. That's gone. Tape measure home run for Fred Lewis.
Blossoming stars like Lewis and Pablo Sandoval give these Giants reason to believe.
Pablo's so valuable offensively. He can hit a high pitch, he can hit a low pitch. He has that ability to get the bat on the ball when it's not a strike.
High drive. Left field. Out of here. We are going home.
It's a good mix, and I think we're going to play a lot of close ball games. It's going to be a lot of fun ball games to watch for a fan.
Renteria softly hit into right field. Rowan scores. Here comes the throw. Ishikawa slides. He's saved.
Given an opportunity to win every single night, and that's what this Giant team has this year, I think that's what we all signed up for.
Here comes home. And this one belongs to the Giants.
This Week in Baseball is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Pepsi! Sing it out, Pepsi!
The line between like and love? You crossed it. Let the world know. Put your favorite team logo on your credit card, check card, and checks with MLB Banking. Only from Bank of America.
So You Think You Can Dance leaps to the next level. Vegas, baby! As the top dancers face off in Vegas.
Elation, despair, and a few injuries.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get rough.
Toughen yourselves up.
Hundreds will compete, but only 20 will survive.
Yes, yes, yes!
So You Think You Can Dance, 2 new hours, Wednesday on Fox.
While we were in San Francisco, we got to spend some time with outfielder Fred Lewis.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
In just his 4th season as a Giant, Fred is opening eyes with his all-around talent.
Out of here! Did that get out of here in a hurry? 2 hops to Lewis. Here comes the throw home. It's there waiting. The catch is out. Lewis coming in. Lewis is going to dive.
And one of those weapons is his speed.
Watch Freddie Lewis go. That's called triples alley. Lewis with his speed will get to third easily. He's exciting.
It's not easy to catch up with someone this fast, but on a recent day off in L.A., we did.
This week in baseball, this Fred Lewis. About to do a little shopping in L.A. Come on, enjoy the ride. Trying on a few outfits, trying to see which one fits and which one we're gonna rock.
No.
No, that's too blingy right there.
Too many rhinestones?
What you think?
I kind of like that.
I do too. Oh man, who you telling? No.
You like this?
Yeah, I like that. I like this and that. You would see these on the F.Lou feet. How you think this look? I think we can go try on some stuff, yeah.
How's it going in there?
Y'all ready? Ta-da.
I like it.
Ta-da.
I like that shirt. I like those jeans, too. And see, turn around. Not meant to me. And you do like this, white one.
Which one? The white one?
Yes.
You had a great time, right? They see me, they're gonna be like, somebody went shopping. Me too.
Much like his game, there are many facets to Fred Lewis. And once he finished shopping, he stopped by to visit some children.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm Fred.
All right, hi Fred, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Stephanie.
you.
It really helps. It helps boost their spirits and the families and their siblings, so they look forward to it all week.
Hi, Andrew.
They have something good to take home about the hospitalization.
I bought you something. I got you a baseball.
Cool.
Just the way that I throw it. Grab it across the seams like that and let it go. I have a 2-year-old daughter. I have 2 kids myself, and if anything happened to my kids, I mean, I would want somebody to come in and brighten their day. It'll make me feel good, too.
You don't know your name?
What's your favorite team?
Oh, yours.
Oh, come on.
To see the smiles on their faces, I mean, it brought smiles to mine.
1, 2, 3.
It was just smiles everywhere.
Oh, it's perfect. Thank you so much.
It make me feel all warm inside. Come and be around kids that brighten their day. You know, anytime that I can be assistant to anybody, I'm good.
Gatorade now presents Twibia. Fred Lewis hit for the cycle in just his 16th big league game. Since 1954, only one player has done that in fewer games. So we asked the always loquacious Mike Cameron if he knew which of these guys it was. Oddibe McDowell, Carlos Gomez, Travis Hafner, or Gary Ward. Who you got, Mike?
I'm gonna say Gary Ward.
Bingo, it was Gary Ward. He hit for the cycle in just his 14th major league game. How'd you know that, Mike?
I just, got a real tasteful knowledge of baseball.
Time now to salute the teams and players that know how to win on the road as Holiday Inn presents Winning Road Trips.
His stuff is simply overpowering.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
Detroit pitcher Justin Verlander's been on fire away from home, fanning 32 in his last 3 road starts.
New career-high 13 strikeouts. And Justin Verlander has just an absolute gem of a win here tonight in Cleveland.
Consistency pays off in business, travel, and baseball. Isn't that right, Cal?
That's right. What is Cal Ripken Jr. doing here?
Consistency earned him the nickname the Iron Man.
What will consistently staying at the Holiday Inn get me?
It could get you official MLB merchandise and tickets.
Could it get us all nicknames?
Like what?
Mrs. Ripken Jr.?
Bob.
Snake Eyes?
Really?
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
Get your hot dog, 50 cents. You want 2 hot dogs? Yeah. You got it.
There you go, miss. Enjoy.
What about the bun?
I'm not a bun salesman.
The bun.
No, I sell hot dogs.
Hot dogs have a bun.
A hot dog, that's a hot dog.
That's a wiener.
I sell what I say, hot dogs.
And it's watered
You have to shake that up a little bit. Have a nice day. Don't forget to tell your friends.
I'm not going to tell them. This watered down, too.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Everything worth listening to is now on Sirius XM, the most commercial-free music. The best in talk, news, and entertainment. Every major sport. Everything you love, everything you want, and new things to discover on over 130 channels. Add the best of Sirius to your XM subscription or the best of XM to your Sirius subscription. Hear what over 35 million listeners can't get enough of. Sirius XM.
Gatorade. That's G.
Wrigley will be rocking as the Cubs take on the first-place Dodgers. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Today, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
And now, Pepsi presents Fresh Faces.
Number 55, Tim Lincecum.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10. Tim Lincecum gets it done. You talk about a guy who can be filtered.
Yep. He is the freak.
The Freak is an affectionate nickname that was bestowed on Tim Lincecum during his days at the University of Washington. That's where we first encountered this week's Fresh Face and realized right off the bat that he was, well, kind of a freak.
This guy is unbelievable. And he strikes out the side.
It was at Washington where the diminutive Huskies set school records for wins and strikeouts in just 3 seasons. Tim also broke the Pac-10 conference record with 491 career strikeouts. No surprise that he received college baseball's most prestigious honor, the Golden Spikes Award. And with the 10th pick in the 2006 draft, the Giants got their man.
San Francisco Giants select Timothy Lincecum, right-handed pitcher from the University of Washington.
Pitchers usually spend a few years in the minors before they get the call. But after just 13 games, and by popular demand, Tim found himself in the show.
The fans were clamoring for the arrival of Lincecum here as he kept putting up great numbers in the minor leagues.
It's your first start. It's going to be your only first start in your big leagues anyway, right? I was nervous. I was also excited. I felt like I kept my poise all right, and I try to keep it as collected as possible.
And he blows Ryan Howard away.
I just kind of went into it as like I would any other game. I try to treat it like, I've done it a million times even though I haven't. I just kind of try to have that arrogance about me, so it's a great experience.
In 2007, he led all National League rookies with 150 Ks.
That's 8 strikeouts now for Tim Lincecum.
And 1 year later, he took his game to a whole nother level.
The hardest part for a young player is to adjust to the league and see how they're adjusting to him. Normally, it's a gradual period, but in Timmy's case, it came pretty quickly.
Down he goes.
Absolutely dominant.
In just his first full season in the big leagues, Tim led the majors with 265 strikeouts and was rewarded with the coveted Cy Young Award, the first Giant to be so honored in 41 years.
Thinking about the award, it was a tremendous honor for myself, obviously, and getting to share that with my family and friends and teammates and players and stuff, just meant the world to me. It's awesome. Is this how you're supposed to carry this thing?
This year, Tim's averaging more than 11 strikeouts every 9 innings. Just 24 years old, the baseball world is his stage.
Sky's the limit with him. I think everybody saw just a glimpse of what he's capable of doing last season. I think he's going to do nothing but get better.
Gillette now presents the Rookie of the Month, honoring the top rookies in both the American and National Leagues each month of the season.
Welcome to the big leagues, big guy.
Last week, Baltimore's Nolan Reimold went deep off one of the very best.
Reimold's first big league home run.
And this week, he showed that he can also come up big in the clutch.
That one hit in the air left field. That ball is way back at the wall. Goodbye, home run. The Orioles win. An unbelievable comeback. A walk-off homer for Nolan Reimold. His first game-winning RBI in the major leagues.
Want to hear a call with no static at all? Check out the XM Call of the Week. It comes from Cleveland, where the Indians once trailed the Rays 10-0.
We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Tampa Bay will get the win unless the Indians stage an incredible comeback. Garkle with a drive. Deep left field. This ball is gone. And the Indians trail it 10-8. Ball 4. He missed outside 10-9. A swing and a shot. Base hit into center field. Francisco scores. Here comes Carroll. Unbelievable. Victor Martinez wins it. A 7-run ninth.
This Week in Baseball, presented by Pepsi, will be right back.
Basically, it's about sympathy. I'm good.
Be honest here, man.
Fuck it.
I'm good. My bad. I'm good. I'm the man. I'm good.
Ready?
No.
Men can take anything.
I'm good.
Except the taste of Diet Cola. Until now, Pepsi Max, the first Diet Cola for men.
This is good.
Yes.
Get in the game with Gillette Fusion. 5 blade space closer together with less irritation, even when shaving against the grain. Get Gillette's most comfortable shave, Fusion. Cheater. Surprisingly affordable for as low as $1 a week. Gillette, the best a man can get.
This fall, you can always count on your brother.
Growing up, I was a better athlete, I was smarter than you, plus I'm better looking. All my teeth are next to each other.
To hit you where it hurts.
You can't say the letter S without spitting on people. Shut up. See right there.
Brothers, a new comedy coming this fall to Fox.
Enjoy the outdoors with great products from Menards. The 2-person glider with hardwood seat and back with 2 convenient side trays is $129. This Paradise Spring Swing with canopy and cushions is $179. Keep kids entertained and active with a ready-to-assemble play-action kit from Playstar. The Trainer Bronze Kit is packed with 8 fun activities, only $444. The Pre-Cut Legend has a climbing wall and scoop slide, only $689.
Save big money at Menards.
This Week in Baseball continues as Chevy presents All-Star Classics. Throughout the years, some great All-Star moments have been spun by pitchers.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Sosa. And the Boston crowd celebrates.
Shades of Carl Hubble back in 1934.
Hubble won more than 250 games and a pair of MVP awards thanks to his not-so-secret weapon.
He had the trickiest pitch that any batter had ever seen, which was the screwball.
Which was a reverse curve. The pitch would dive down into the feet of left-handed hitters and away from right-handed hitters.
Carl Hubble has exceptional control. First, low inside. High outside. Third, low outside. And now, in slow motion, high inside. Watch it. There is perfect control.
And it was at one of the very first Midsummer Classics that this Hall of Famer etched his name in baseball lore.
In 1934, it was only the second All-Star game ever played. And Carl Hubbell's performance in that game, in a sense, put the All-Star game on the map to stay forever.
You wouldn't have thought so from the start, as Hubbell opened the game by giving up a single and a walk. Then came trouble.
And the next three batters were named Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Jimmy Fox. There was enough power in that trio to illuminate a small city.
These three men would finish their careers with more than 1,700 home runs between them. Undaunted, Carl devised a plan.
Trying to do was to strike Ruth out. He's the only one I was really trying to strike out.
And he did just that, fanning the Babe with his patented pitch. But Hubbell still faced more trouble, now against the Iron Horse.
But Hubbell, working very carefully and again methodically, he struck out Gehrig. So now there were two out, and Jimmy Fox was up, and Hubbell struck out Fox. It seems that Carl had done the impossible.
But there was more to come. For the next inning, Carl faced two more future Hall of Famers in Al Simmons and Joe Cronin.
He just threw them that screwball, struck out the next two in the next inning, and I don't think that feat has ever been equaled in baseball history.
50 years later, Carl was honored for his amazing performance. 2 years after that, Fernando Valenzuela did his very best to match it.
You couldn't escape the similarities. A National League left-hander mowing down tremendous American League hitters and using a screwball to do it. Just like Carl Hubbell did, here's Fernando doing it.
Think you'd like to be a part of this year's All-Star experience? Just go to winanallstartrip.com and enter for the chance to win an MLB All-Star Weekend in St. Louis. That's winanallstartrip.com.
This one's going to do it. She is out of here.
Which brings us to our State Farm Big League Blast at Yankee Stadium, a 477-foot bomb by Raul Ibanez.
It is high. It is far. It is gone. Whoa, what a shot.
A monster home run. That is one of the longest home runs we've seen here.
This Week in Baseball, presented by Pepsi, will be right back.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby.
Pepsi! Sing it about Pepsi!
They got everything.
Not everything.
That's not mine.
Yo, Rich, he said he saw two guys earlier. One of them was wearing a jacket.
And how does that help me?
Yo, you covered for this?
I don't know.
How could you not know?
Yo, it's not funny.
This is funny. You know what? You need to call my agent.
You should know you're covered.
Come on, man. It's not mine.
Call one of our 17,000 State Farm agents today.
People think that Honda is always the most fuel-efficient choice. Well, the Chevy Cobalt XFE has better highway mileage than a comparable Honda Civic. The Chevy Traverse has better mileage than a Honda Pilot. And Chevy Malibu has better mileage than Accord. However, Honda does make something that we just can't compete with.
Now get Chevy Total Confidence with something you've never seen before, Vehicle Value Protection. It helps protect your new car's retail value at trade-in time. Go to ChevyConfidence.com for program details.
You guys ready? What's up with your faces?
Volcano burritos. Want one?
Oh, great. Look at you. You're a mess.
Relax. I got it covered.
Storybook wedding. Beautiful.
Taco Bell's new Volcano Double Beef Burrito with scorching lava sauce. Get ready for the good hurt. Think outside the box.
Wrigley will be rocking as Soriano and the Cubs take on the first-place Dodgers. Fox Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Today, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
Taco Bell now presents How About That, with the plays of the week set to the sounds of Metallica from their album Death Magnetic.
Belted deep to right field. Junior has his 616th home run.
He just flicks the ball.
Into the air to center field and deep. Maxwell going back. Warning track. Wall. He leaps. And he caught it. He caught it. He went over the fence and he caught it. Oh, what a play by Justin Maxwell.
You did your job, baby. Sweet belts in the show.
Off of Greedy, but the flex right to Harris. He barehands it. Fires and got it. Nice effort. On the run, in the corner, can't make the catch. No catch. He's looking for the ball. Nina, hey. Right there, you see it? Swing, hard shot. Diving stab, throw to second. What a play by Castillo. Ow! My apocalypse. Leonard bat, that's a fair ball. Fair ball. Cutter completes the cycle. That is impressive, folks. Line drive base hit center field. Francisco scores the tie run. Here comes Carroll, and the Indians will win it. They score 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Santos to left. It's hit well. Bay going back, looking up. It is off the top of the wall. They can maybe gone. This ball's gone. Spin it out. It's a home run.
How about that? I'm trying to get you.
Most pound for pound. Pop in the lead.
Little Babe Ruth.
I just try to get up there and squat roll out so I'll throw fastballs.
This ball is shot to left, and welcome to the big leagues, John Mayberry.
Crawford has his 30th stolen base of the year.
Oh, Will, baby.
He could be in a sweet man. He's like metal or something.
Oh, now there's some pictures.
Check that out. He takes his hat off with his right hand and throws it down. I don't know if I've ever seen that. How about that?
Oh, he is too much.
This Week in Baseball has been sponsored by Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. By Bank of America, Chevy, Gillette, Holiday Inn, XM Radio, State Farm, Taco Bell, and by Gatorade. For This Week in Baseball, I'm Buzz Brainerd. So long, everybody.
Wrigley will be rocking as Soriano and the Cubs take on the first-place Dodgers. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Today, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
Shocking health trends. The raw food diet.
I've been taught the bacteria theory.
Bacteria is not a theory.
A 24-karat facial. Swimming without water. And
An electronic sex chip for the brain.
the doctors.
Monday at 5 on Fox 18.
You and me gotta have a conversation. Nice talking to you.
Bert is on America's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 18.
Want used? We've got used. Lots of used. At Erickson Chevrolet Buick.
Keeping Hollywood real. TMC. Weeknights at 9:30 on Fox 18.
Let us be your auto everything at Duck Creek Tire and Service, and come check out this month's great special. Now that spring has sprung and the windows are down, are you hearing those squeaky brakes? Make sure you stop in today and receive a free brake inspection. Add an oil change and car wash for only $29. Duck Creek Tire, your premier full-service auto shop in the Quad Cities.
We're your auto everything at Duck Creek Tire. Duck Creek Tire. Green, gotta go to Green.
Is it time to drive a pre-driven vehicle that you can count on? Then you've got to get to Green's Regional Used Car Superstore. Only Green gets you over 650 used vehicles in stock. Only Green gets you a 2008 Chevy Impala LT or a 2008 Pontiac G6. Your choice, just $12,988 or just $219 a month. Get all this and more at Green's Regional Used Car Superstore, Avenue of the Cities in East Moline.
Watching Fox Sports.
the All-Star Game, the American League Championship Series, and the World Series. America's grand game is on Fox.
We are Fox Sports!
Today on Fox Saturday Baseball, we're in the desert for some fun in the sun. Chipper and the Braves head to Zona to charm the D-backs, but will Atlanta get snake bitten? And how about those Dodgers? No Manny? No problem. Today, the best team in the bigs visits the friendly confines of Wrigley. Think the Cubs want some revenge from last year's playoff drubbing? And in Tampa Bay, the price is right for the Rays. Today, the Rays' phenom flamethrower looks to shut down Minnesota's M&M boys. Fox Saturday Baseball's action-packed, and it starts right now. Welcome to the Taco Bell pregame show on Fox. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. Welcome to Arizona, where the Braves have to deal with one of the best young players in the bigs. Justin Upton leads his team in batting and in RBIs. And we are inside, and let's make it poolside for Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Taco Bell, and I'm also wearing a suit. This kind of suit, not that kind of suit. We don't want bad television out here. Good TV is coming your way in mere moments. First pitch between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Others we're going to send down to Tampa Bay. A couple of huge power sources, Justin Morneau and Evan Longoria, going at it. Longoria is on pace for 171 RBI this season. Now, most of you are off to the north side for a playoff rematch between the Dodgers and the Cubs. LA's new acquisition, Orlando Hudson's been all-star caliber, while Alfonso Soriano leads Chicago in all-power numbers. Now, the Dodgers have the best record in the bigs for many, many reasons, but Manny's not one of them. Dodgers are 13-8 and averaging more than 5 runs per game since he started serving his 50-game suspension. Now, LA might miss Manny's pop, but they still lead the league in hitting, great defense, great starting pitching, and they have the biggest lead among all division leaders. 9 games in the NL West. Well, since taking over for Manny in left, Juan Pierre has been more than all right, hitting over 400 with 17 ribs, had only 28 all of last season and couldn't get off the pine. Now the Dodgers can't live without him. Out here in the desert and throughout all of baseball, there's an old adage, see ball, hit ball. Brian McCann couldn't, so he didn't. He was bothered by blurred vision a few weeks ago, so he got fitted for some new glasses. Since then, he's hitting 400. Let's get to know the new and improved 3-time All-Star catcher of the Braves a bit better. So do the glasses make you feel smarter now?
Absolutely. You know, I was pretty stupid before, and now just my intelligence is pretty off the charts.
So if you retook the SATs, you'd probably get what?
I'm pushing 1450 probably.
Now, who do people say you look like with the specs now?
A nerd.
A nerd, that's it?
Yeah, I mean, I get made fun of a lot for them.
You know that Justin Timberlake is now wearing glasses more and more often, so you bringing sexy back?
I mean, I wish I looked like him. You know, he gets a lot of hot women, so.
I'm sure your wife appreciates that.
I'm sure she won't.
We want you to try on some specs here. Put that one on. No.
Let's say a little bit better. I think we got a winner.
Favorite show growing up was what?
Saved by the Bell.
Favorite character?
A.C. Slater. Can I take a step back on that one?
As long as you don't say Screech.
Yeah, let me Kelly Kapowski. She's good looking.
All right, you were a speedster last year. We saw you leg out that triple and then create that crater at third base. Did you get a lot of heat for that?
Yeah, you know, that's why. That was a big motivation for me to lose some weight this offseason.
So maybe you have to do a little sweating of the oldies with Richard Simmons or something. Is that what it was?
A lot of that and a lot of the wee. Who said someone did a wee?
Come on, go for it.
Nah.
We're cutting that?
Yeah, cut that one.
That's about it. No, Brian, we're going to keep it. And he's right. These really don't make you that much smarter. I feel like Drew Carey hosting The Price is Right. Coming up, we actually got baseball. Some of you are going to see the Diamondbacks and the Braves tango. Others send you down to Tampa. Twins and Rays. But most of the country get that playoff rematch between the Dodgers and the Cubs. It's Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell. And first pitch, it's next.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
With the strength of over 100 years of automobile manufacturing behind us, Ford is standing strong with quality Honda and Toyota can't beat. With available credit and 0% financing, getting into a Ford has never been easier. And get the protection of the Ford Advantage plan, a better plan to get you into an Edge, Escape, or Flex. If you lose your job, we'll make your payments for 12 months at up to $700 per month. Get a Ford Edge with 0 for 60 and save over $7,500.
Shocking health trends. The raw food diet.
Been taught the bacteria theory.
Bacteria is not a theory.
A 24-karat facial. Swimming without water. And
an electronic sex chip for the brain.
The doctors.
Monday at 5 on Fox 18.
You and me gotta have a conversation. Nice talking to you.
Bert is on America's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 18.
Welcome to a beautiful, perfect day in Wrigleyville and Wrigley Field in this great city, Chicago, Illinois, on the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs. And now welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, both coming right up. This is a rematch of last year's divisional series, which the Dodgers took apart the Cubs 3-0. And now here we are toward the end of May, right at the end of May, and you've got a Dodgers team that's just running away with the West, and Tim McCarver, a Chicago Cubs team that's been basically a 500 ball club, really banged up, but it's been impressive the kind of run the Dodgers have put together here early in the year.
Pretty easy to see why the Dodgers have the best record in baseball. They're tops in hitting. They're second in pitching in the National League. As far as the Cubs are concerned, when you're supposed to win a lot and you only win a little, everybody wants to make trades, and in effect, what you need is more production out of the guys that you have.
It is a perfect day for baseball and a pitching matchup of Ryan Dempster for Chicago, Eric Stoltz for Los Angeles. Lou would love to smile at the end of this one. It's the Dodgers, it's the Cubs, and it's yours next on Fox.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
The unbeatable epic taste of McDonald's Big Mac. You so want one.
I'm loving it. Hey, Earth. Come here. It's time for a little come to dentist meeting. Your parents were right, your teachers were right, even that creepy scoutmaster with the tight brown shorts was right. TV is slowly rotting your brain and turning it into a slimy, gooey, mushy blob of pudding, and there's nothing you can do about it. See? I just told you what was happening, and you're still watching TV. Amazing. But this whole slowly part is getting to be a real problem. Well, guess what? Hulu. We built Hulu to pump thousands of hours of free TV right into the one screen you drag around everywhere. Hence... Now I need you to take your stubby little human fingers and hit this button on Hulu. Then you can share those TV shows in your bliggity blogs and your facey spaces and your tweety pages for all your bookwormy anti-boob-to-be friends. So here's the deal. Help us churn their finely cultured skull beef down to the aforementioned pudding, and we'll slurp out yours last. Eh? Yeah, because we're aliens. And you ain't soup yet.
Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
I've been a Pirates fan since 1979.
Since I was about 8 years old.
I've loved him ever since I was a little kid.
Since I was 6 years old.
He was about 4 years old. 20 years. 25 years. 21 years. 36 years.
Since about 10, when I was 10. Since 98 when they came.
We got 4 generations of Cubs fans.
I actually went to 94 games last year.
I'm going to be with this team till I die.
I was born a Cards fan.
I've been a Twins fan forever.
The game was on in the hospital room, actually.
This is beyond loyalty. This is beyond baseball.
And welcome back to Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. A view from up above
in this beautiful facility where they've been playing baseball since 1914. A great day to be on the lake. Fox Saturday Baseball sponsored by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. And now the Dodgers starting lineup. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Juan Pierre leads it off. He's in left field. Rafael Furcal bats second and short. Then Orlando Hudson. What a great year he's had. His first try in a Dodger uniform. He's at second. James Loney cleans up. Andre Ethier in right field. Russell Martin does the catching. Mark Loretta gets the start at third base. Casey Blake is off. Matt Kemp is in center, and Eric Stultz, a left-hander, will do the pitching and bat ninth. And here's the guy doing the pitching for the Chicago Cubs. One of our favorites on and off the field, Ryan Dempster.
3-3 this year, and he's been remarkable at Wrigley Field. 16-3 over the last 1+ years. In fact, he won 14 games last year at Wrigley Field. That was the most wins by a Cubs starter since 1967, when Ferguson Jenkins won 15 games.
That was the sprint pitcher profile for Ryan Dempster, who has all those extra movements he does with his glove as he's bringing the ball to the plate. He's got impersonations that he does. He's bouncing around. That most guys, when they go to pitch and it's their day, we talked about A.J. Burnett the other day with the Yankees now, where nobody gets around him. Nobody talks to him. Ryan Dempster's looking for people to talk to, and he's taking bunting practice, and he's acting like he's a hockey goalie. He's from BC. He's from Canada, and he just loves to have fun, and he will try and slow down Juan Pierre, who has done nothing but hit since taking over for the suspended Manny Ramirez in left. What a day. And every time we get a chance to walk in here and watch those fans pack into the bleachers and enjoy batting practice the way they do, we're just happy that Wrigley Field is still around and a place where we can still go and enjoy a ball game.
Pack into the bleachers and the rooftops across the street.
First pitch of ball to Pierre, and now the next is up and away, 2-0. Dempster wild in his last start, and he was wild in his playoff start against the Dodgers last October.
Walking 7 in 4 1/3 innings in Game 1 of the National League Division Series.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. The numbers are terrific for Pierre since Manny Ramirez was suspended on May the 7th. That's too far inside, 3-1. The numbers look like this: a .411 average, 17 RBIs, great on base percentage. And setting the table at the top of this Dodger lineup. There's a strike. He's patient. Good zip on that pitch from Dempster. Full count. So Pierre, then Furcal, then Orlando Hudson. And he leaned back. He popped it up. It's on the left side. It's Terrio from short with his glasses on. 1 out.
That's what National League clubs try to do. Get Juan Pierre to hit the ball in the air.
And here is Furcal. He was off to a .240 start. The Dodgers were a little concerned during the week, and so they sat him on the bench. He had pain in his backside, and they thought it might have something to do with a back surgery he had last year. He's only played in 1 game over the last 5, and now here he is making the start here on Saturday, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. So back surgery last year for Furcal, and 32 games prior to the surgery was hitting .366. In the regular season since then, last year and this, he's hitting only .239.
Tell you, if you're a National League hitter and you're trying to face a guy like Dempster, it's got to be disconcerting with that movement of his glove. He does it on every pitch. And the reason he started doing it, he thought he was tipping his pitches. Well, he found out, well, if I am, I'm going to do this, and I defy anybody to pick what he's throwing with that much movement of his glove. No way.
Another 0-2 pitch, and up and away, ball 1. There are the numbers for Furcal against Dempster. Not much. Trying to get on in front of Orlando Hudson for the Dodgers, who have baseball's best record of 34-16. Reaching for it. Ground ball to second, and an easy pickup for Scales. 2 out. So 2 up, 2 down against Dempster, and here comes Orlando Hudson, who had the bad left wrist last year, shut down in August. Giving hugs and shaking hands and running for mayor in the batter's box is Orlando Hudson. Hello, Mr. Jeff Kellogg. I understand you're the crew chief of this umpiring crew, and hello there, Giovanni Soto. Congratulations on your Rookie of the Year back in '08. Now I'll try and hit Dempster. Strike 1. This guy has fun, loves to play the game, usually has a smile on his face, and easy to smile when you're hitting .338. Ball 1.
And Joe, he was a late signee as a free agent, signed for under $3.5 million on February 21st. Reason for that, he had problems with his left wrist, missed the last 45 games last year, and the Dodgers wanted to be sure that he was healthy. And has he ever been?
Well, it brings up the bigger point, and we'll get into this as this game wears on, but the job that Ned Colletti has done in building this roster and adding pieces like Orlando Hudson late, he deserves a lot of credit for this start the Dodgers are enjoying. And a good start for Ryan Dempster. Down goes L.A. 1, 2, 3. Stultz to the hill. Cubs coming up. No score in Wrigley.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawet can help you go for both your goals.
Captain, we have 4 hours to comply with their demands. Since you can't end this standoff, you will miss my army crushed the pitiful humans on TV tonight.
Don't worry about it. I have DirecTV. I can easily set my home DVR and record the movie right from here.
Impressive technology for a human.
Humans are smarter than apes.
With DirecTV, you can easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Here's a look at the Chicago lineup, and it's brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Soriano leads it off in left, and Terrio. Milton Bradley off to a slow start. Hits third. Derek Lee is the cleanup man at first base. Reed Johnson in center. Giovanni Soto. Little better this month. Awful start in April. He's the catcher. Bobby Scales is at second. Mike Fontenot at third, and Ryan Dempster pitching and batting ninth. And here is Eric Stultz, the left-hander. He's 29 years old, from Indiana. And as you look at his numbers, we will give you the sprint pitcher profile for Eric.
Well, it's an important start, and we'll tell you why a little later. Yet another lefty, the 32nd left-handed start for the Dodgers this year, and that's unusual for a team who is not known for its left-handed starters, with the exception of 40 years ago when the great Sandy Koufax started for L.A.
Soriano hacking at the first pitch, pops it up, in play, foul territory, and it's the first baseman Loney who takes it away from Russell Martin. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Eric Stultz, and as you referenced, it's a big start because Hiroki Kuroda is coming back on Monday, back to the active roster for L.A.
And how Stultz does this afternoon will determine perhaps whether he starts again. He is nursing that sprained left thumb, and that had a lot to do, said Joe Torre, with his control his last outing last Monday in Colorado.
Here is Terrio in the number 2 spot, and he takes a strike. So you've got Stoltz today, and for the Dodgers, Eric Milton, who has kind of reinvented himself. Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, done a good job with these 2 left-handers, and a tremendous job overall with this pitching staff. Carries in an ERA of 3.7, second best in the National League.
How about Eric Milton, a guy who went 3 years between wins? His last win in Colorado last week.
That's inside. 2-1 Ontario. On deck is Milton Bradley. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Good pitch down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Russell Martin sets up inside, and Terrio crowded with the slider.
Here's a 2-2. And a strikeout for out number 2 here in the first inning for Stoltz.
That strike 2 was so good, he decided to go back in there. Little cut fastball, about in the same spot as the second strike.
Stoltz is a guy who was a 15th round pick back in June of '02. Spent some years in the minor leagues, had 3 stints with a big club last year, was 2-3 overall in 7 starts, good ERA. Strike 1 on Bradley with an odd swing on the first pitch from Stoltz.
You know what he's doing today? He's speeding up the pace. That's what they have tried. Rick Honeycutt has tried to get Stoltz to speed up the pace, and he's doing that so far.
When you talk to guys on this team, the Dodger team, they'll tell you that they don't know if Stoltz realizes how good his stuff is. And maybe that has to do with a little slower approach. He's just getting it and throwing it and working on a perfect first inning as he drives Bradley off the plate with 1 up and in.
If you work slowly as a pitcher, indecision's involved, and that's the problem with working slowly.
A shattered bat, but a flare into right center out of the reach of Hudson, and a 2-out hit for Milton Bradley. So Hudson gets up acting as if he thought he should have caught it, and there was a little hesitation right there, and then he couldn't make the play.
Well, if Orlando can't catch it, then nobody can catch it. 3-time Gold Glover with great range into shallow right field. A lot of second basemen don't even come that close.
So here's Derek Lee, who's hit .378 the last 10 games, which is important because you see his overall average at .244. So off to a slow start with a lot of his teammates. And check on Bradley, who in his first year with the Cubs has yet to attempt a steal. 1 year ago today, you look at the difference in the numbers. 13 home runs and 37 RBIs for Chicago, the team that finished with the best record in the league last year. Stoltz took something off that pitch, strike 1. Cubs check in 24 and 23. That's the bad news for Chicago. The good news is they're only 3.5 games out in the NL Central. And ripped into left field right at Pierre, and the inning is over. Lee got it down toward the end of the bat. 1 hit, 1 left, 1 inning complete at Wrigley. Dodgers and Cubs, no score.
You guys ready? What's up with your faces?
Volcano burritos. Want one?
Oh, great. Look at you. You're a mess.
Relax. I got it covered.
Storybook wedding.
Beautiful.
Taco Bell's new Volcano Double Beef Burrito with scorching lava sauce. Get ready for the good hurt. Think outside the box.
Why is it raining? Lose the rain.
Roger that. No rain, no rainbows.
Could you tell us what's going on? Yeah, the cake is en route, the tulips just arrived, and the groom is...
He's getting cold feet. I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Look, we gotta go now. The light's perfect.
I need the stunt groom now. What's a stunt groom? Jackpot.
Get work done now. Nextel Direct Connect with GPS tracking. Only on the Now Network.
More and more, it seems, complete strangers are asking people about their Hyundai. Well, if you endorse our product, the least we could do is reward you for it. So now, Hyundai Assurance does. Buy a new Sonata, and Hyundai will send you money every month for the rest of the year. And if you lose your income in the next 12 months, you can still return the car, but keep the money, your credit rating, and your integrity. You keep sharing your opinion, we'll keep sharing the wealth.
To everyone who plays in the sun, waterproof and sweatproof sunscreen can wear out before you do, leaving skin vulnerable to the sun's damaging rays. New Neutrogena Ultimate Sport, the best line of sports sunblock. With Helioplex technology, it helps provide the highest average UVA, UVB protection, and is also 3 times more waterproof than testing standards. Play on with Ultimate Sport from Neutrogena Sun Care, recommended most by dermatologists.
Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun, and sponsored by Sprint. Get more done with Nextel Direct Connect, only on the Now Network. By Hyundai Assurance, a little certainty in uncertain times. Ryan Dempster had a quick and easy first inning. Loney is first up. And he goes after the first pitch, flies it into center. Little better result than when these two hooked up in the postseason last year. Ryan Dempster had walked the bases loaded in game 1 of that divisional series, and then Loney stepped to the plate. 5th inning, 0-2 count, grand slam, center field, and that was the beginning of what was a 3-game sweep by the Dodgers over the Cubs.
Beginning of the end.
Dusty Baker, by the way, had been the last Dodger to hit a grand slam in the postseason. The 77 NLCS against Philadelphia. Here is Ethier, and there is ball 1. Andre Ethier's been dealing with a broken toenail, something that had happened to him during spring training. It was aggravated earlier in the week. Jammed on a good pitch from Dempster there, and the count 1-1.
That's a big toe on his right foot, and that can be again, a real irritation for a hitter, because that's your landing foot. If you feel that pain shooting through the foot, not a good feeling. Have a tendency to rush things, and that's not good for a hitter.
1-1 pitch is a strike. On deck is Russell Martin. And what becomes obvious when you write down the lineup in a scorebook or on a scorecard for the Dodgers is how deep their lineup is. The ground ball outside first, and back to the Ned Colletti point. When you have a guy like Matt Kemp hitting 8th, Casey Blake when he is in there down toward the bottom of this lineup today, it's Mark Loretta, Russell Martin, a tough out hitting in the 6th spot. They come at you 1 through 8 in their lineup. Ethier, line drive to short, 2 out. And with the bases empty, Russell Martin will walk to the plate. This is a Dodger payroll that was reduced by $40 million compared to last year. A big hole is left with the departure of Derek Lowe, who is now with the Atlanta Braves, and the question is, where will they get those innings out of their rotation? One of the guys that they counted on coming in, as we mentioned, will come back on Monday, Kuroda. There's a 1-0 to Russell Martin on the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
The Dodgers are also not sure about Jason Schmidt, who could be back around the All-Star break. That would be a big boost if they could get a competent pitcher like him back.
That's off the bag and into left field for a hit from Martin. He will cruise into second base with a stand-up double, with 2 out here in the 2nd.
The guy who's really matured, says Joe Torre, is Russell Martin. In fact, Martin called Joe when he was having dinner with his son on Thanksgiving, and they determined that it would be a good idea for them to exchange phone calls every week during the offseason. Joe and his wife were in Lizard Island, right off of Australia, near the Great Barrier Reef, and Joe said, well, it's his turn to call. He probably won't call me up here. And sure enough, he called. He found him on his cell phone.
And it goes beyond that, because the Dodgers have added Brad Ausmus as their backup catcher, and he's been a great influence on Russell Martin.
Right.
Guy who was originally a third baseman, brought into pro ball, now a catcher, a guy who can run, a guy who can give you a lot of innings behind home plate. Nobody's caught more innings behind the plate than Russell Martin across baseball since the start of 2007. Here is Loretta, and there's ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he could still run fast.
Back to the pitcher. Dempster knocks it down. All those innings he can still run, and now Russell will trot back, put on the gear, head back to work. Bottom of the second at Wrigley. Dodgers and Cubs, no score.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
Peanuts. My BK Star Trek glasses? Why don't you just take my girlfriend while you're at it?
Awesome. Star Trek movie glasses, $1.99 each with any BK value meal. Collect them all before the Klingons do.
And there's the snap. McPherson drops back. He dodges his tackle. He barely gets in the way. And wow, what a catch by Left. He crosses midfield. He takes the hard hit. The ball is loose. Going into ladder on the road. He breaks the tackle at the 10. The 5. One man to beat.
The journey continues with the all-new Rebel T1i, the only camera in its class to shoot in full HD video, inspired by Canon.
Excellent. Hello again, Earth. I'm Alec Baldwin here at Hulu with some exciting news. Now that we're beaming TV shows to your lab-based computing boxes for free, 24/7, they're finally rotting your brains, just like Mom promised they would. So keep watching. The sooner your brains have percolated into bubbly, cheesy goo, the sooner we can slurp them through your ear canals and pass them through our lower intestines. Because we're aliens, and that's what we do.
Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
How bad is your heartburn?
My heartburn? It's like a volcano in my chest. Boom! But one Zantac later, and that volcano is history. All day or all night.
Heartburn, attack it. Zantac.
Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell, sponsored by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. And up above here in Chicago with these beautiful pictures of downtown and Wrigley. Our aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game in HD this season with DirecTV. Bottom of the second, Reed Johnson, Giovanni Soto, and Bobby Scales will be the hitters, and the first pitch, a ball from Aaron Stoltz. Johnson hits lefties, period. A .310 hitter against left-handed pitching. And he shoots one into left field. He will add to it as Pierre gets to it on one bounce, and Johnson has a leadoff single. Second hit for the Cubs. And Giovanni Soto, who is trying to validate that great rookie season last year, Rookie of the Year, hitting .218, better this month after hitting just .109 in April.
Latter part of spring training, Giovanni hurt his right shoulder. It bothered him the first 2 weeks of the season. He missed 8 days during one stretch. Appears to be all right now.
And that's in the dirt. Martin blocks it. Ball one. Yeah, Soto sitting .288 in May, so a little warmer weather. The shoulder probably feeling a little better, and overall hitting .218 compared to just under .300 a year ago at this time. And overall for the Cubs, they were 28-19 last year after 47 games. scoring over a run less per game here in 09 than they did at this time in 2008. As Soto pops it up. Out behind second, Orlando Hudson gives way to the center fielder Kemp. One out. Here are the numbers while the Cubs were on their way to a 97-65 record. Their most wins for the franchise since 1945 when the Cubs won 98. Last year, after 47 games, you see they were at 5.7 runs per game, now 4.4. The ERA higher here in 2009. And what's frustrated Piniella lately is what the Cubs have done with runners in scoring position. As Bobby Scales steps in.
1 for 17 the last 2 days against the Dodgers.
Scales goes up there swinging, strike one. Bobby Scales finally getting a chance. Entered pro ball in 1999. Hit .320 last year at AAA Iowa. A couple of pinch hit home runs with the Cubs this season as he takes ball one in the dirt.
I was kidding Bobby before the game. He's a University of Michigan grad, and after spending 10 years in the minor leagues, he's in his early 30s. I said it's about time you had that Hail to the Conquering Heroes song sung here at Wrigley Field, which is near Ann Arbor, which I guess is about what, 180 miles from here northeast or so.
So he's getting a chance, and getting a chance today to play second base while Fontenot tries to fill in at third. That's a ball down and in 2-1. The problem for the Cubs is their real big presence in their lineup, Aramis Ramirez, is out. Lou Piniella hopes to get him back around the All-Star break. But while he has been down, the Cubs have had virtually no production out of the third base position in Ramirez's absence. 2-2.
Lou Piniella hoping his team can tread water, and he hopes that a team like the Cardinals, Milwaukee, or perhaps Cincinnati doesn't get on a hot run and put some distance between them and Chicago.
Big numbers, .364 average and a run producer. Aramis Ramirez out with the dislocated left shoulder. 2-2 pitch. Scales strikes out. Good pitch down and away. 2 away.
Good changeup from Eric Stoltz. And you know, we were talking earlier about a left-hander, this being the 32nd start for a left-hander. The Dodgers really have not been, over the last 3 or 4 decades, they haven't been known for their left-handed pitching. In fact, from 1992 through 1997, they had 681 consecutive starts from right-handed pitching. That's a major league record.
Stoltz checks on the runner at first, Reed Johnson, who led off with a base hit. Then Soto flied to center. Scales struck out. Now Fontenot at the plate. There have been a couple of notable left-handers, though, that have, as you said, the obvious one. But Fernando Valenzuela is another one on that list. I think the one guy who was kind of mixed in there was Bobby Ojeda after his days with the Mets that broke up that string, or was a guy to get a left-handed start for the Dodgers. There goes Reed Johnson. Throw down by Martin is not in time, and a stolen base. First of the year for Johnson.
Terrific jump by Reed Johnson. And it's always tougher for a catcher to throw with the left-handed batter up there because he can't see him running. With a right-hander, the vision is clear. And sometimes that bang-bang deal like that is the difference between a stolen base and a caught stealing.
Good call by second base umpire Mark Wegner. And now a hit could give Chicago the lead. A 1-1 pitch to Fontenot. Is hit high and deep into right center field. Back at the wall. This ball is off the ivy. Cubs strike first as Fontenot delivers with a 2-out RBI double.
There's a hit for the Cubs with a man in scoring position after the stolen base. Next pitch, hammered to right center. So the Cubs are on the board.
This is game 3 of a 4-game set. 2-1 Dodger win on Thursday, 2-1 Cub win here yesterday, and now Ryan Dempster will try and come up with a 2-out hit. 2 for 22 swinging the bat, and he deals with Eric Stoltz. And what a play by Martin.
Wow.
What an athletic move by Russell Martin to barehand it, pop it into the air, and then catch it with his glove.
This is hard to do, folks.
Cubs strike first, lead 1-0 back after this from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Okay, so the Ford F-150 is the only truck with those new steps on the tailgate and the side of the box, making it easier to get to the cargo. And you're thinking, I don't need those. Oh yeah? Let's do the math. How many times are you going to be in and out of the cargo box? Once? Twice? No. I'm thinking maybe 60,000 times, especially since it's got the most payload. You see what I'm getting at? Hey, unless all you're carrying is yarn, it seems like a no-brainer to me, okay? It's not just a pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150.
Stop by Culver's today and get a taste of real value with our double butter burger with cheese in a value basket. Sink your teeth into a mouth-watering double butter burger topped with real Wisconsin cheese. And you'll also get our famous crinkle-cut fries and a regular drink, all served right to your table with a friendly smile.
It's my pleasure.
So come on in for an unbeatable value with our double butter burger with cheese in a value basket. Culver's. Get Culverized.
Looks like we're in for some nasty weather.
Really? How do you know?
Oh, I can just feel it. The old elbow's starting to get a little stiff.
Really? That's how you predict the weather, with your elbow?
Yeah? Why? What do you use?
Well, Pat Walker. Pat says you should probably get your forecast from him tonight.
Pat Walker and your first forecast on the Fox 18 9 o'clock news. More reliable than a trick elbow.
Oh, and Pat says you should probably see a doctor about that elbow.
The Office. Coming this fall to Fox 18.
Introducing the most powerful BMW 3 Series coupe ever with 300 horsepower and twin-turbo technology. To some, it's remarkable. To us, it's business as usual. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Kimberly BMW, Davenport.
We welcome you back to MLB on Fox, presented by Taco Bell. Beautiful day, great scene here at Wrigley, and for Chicago, a 1-0 lead for Ryan Dempster. Kemp, Stoltz, and Juan Pierre will be the hitters, 8, 9, and 1 for LA. So here's a number 8 hitter hitting .296. A good pitch down and away from Dempster, strike one. Start looking down at the bottom of this lineup. It's a big difference between the Cubs and Dodgers here in 09. The production they're getting in the bottom end of their lineup. And for Joe Torre, it's got to remind him kind of those great years with the Yankees where he would have guy Posada hitting down toward the bottom of a lineup, or Brocious, and all the production he gave New York over the years. Obviously different with a pitcher batting in the National League, but 1 through 8 they come get you, and that's a big reason why they're 34 and 16. The 1-2 pitch from Dempster, 2-2.
Joe Torre has been the manager for teams that went the 13 postseasons in a row. That is the 5th all-time on the American sports scene.
First strikeout for Dempster, and that's the first out here in the 3rd inning. Good pitch down, and Kemp over the top. So that'll bring in Eric Stoltz, and we'll bring to our telecast Kenny Rosenthal, who joins us from field level here at Wrigley Field. And some news to report, Kenny.
Joe, huge development today in the NL Central.
The Reds have placed first baseman Joey Votto on the disabled list due to stress-related issues. Now, Votto had that ear infection, those flu symptoms. He's been unable to stay on the field, and the Reds are going to really struggle for offense without him.
Yeah, he was number 2 in the league in hitting, Joey Votto. Somebody, Walt Jocketty, the general manager in Cincinnati, was really excited about going into spring training, and for good reason. If you don't know it, look where Cincinnati is. And that was a team that Lou Piniella mentioned before the game today when we talked to him about a club that could potentially win the division. So they will miss their big presence at first base as Stultz strikes out 2 away. That's now 2 guys in the NL Central, by the way, who are dealing with stress and anxiety issues. Khalil Green, the shortstop in St. Louis, and really the only big acquisition the Cardinals made over the offseason, is hitting right around the 200 mark, and he is admitted to an anxiety or stress disorder, and he's found himself on the bench more than in the lineup for Tony La Russa.
I guess the most celebrated stress disorder in the major league, Zach Greinke, the starter with the Kansas City Royals, who has an earned run average now in 10 starts of 0.84. He would be the starter for the American League in the All-Star game if it were started within the next week.
Other guys, Dontrelle Willis, who got over that supposedly and worked his way back up through the minor leagues, back to Detroit. Good pitch. Strike 2, and here are the numbers for Zach Greinke, who at one point was talking about walking away from the game. That's how stressed he was, and all he's done is throw stress at American League hitters. 8 wins and an ERA of 0.84. And Pierre stays alive as Soto can't hang on to the foul tip. So the count's still 0-2. Pierre popped out to short his first time up. And a ball up and away. Dempster starts this game with a record of 3-3 and an ERA of 4.99. Signed a 4-year extension in November. He is locked into the Cubs through 2012 as that skips in 2-2.
Juan Pierre, a guy that if you know a little, you like a lot.
You and I both separately talked to Joe Torre about Pierre, who is hitting over 400 since Ramirez was suspended, and he said it was amazing the attitude he had. He was the first one to the park every day, even when he wasn't playing, knowing he wasn't going to play. He strikes out here as the bottom falls out of that pitch, and Dempster strikes out the side in the 3rd. Pierre is 0 for 2. Who's coming up for Chicago? Soriano will lead it off. Bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 Cubs.
The line between like and love? You crossed it. Let the world know. Put your favorite team logo on your credit card, check card, and checks with MLB Banking. Only from Bank of America.
I race to win. I gain a competitive edge over my opponents by knowing when it's the perfect time to change my tires. Even the best things wear out. So when it comes to shaving, I know when to change my blade.
Gillette Fusion's indicator strip fades to white when it may be time to change.
Because when I'm in my best, I win on every level. Fresh blade, better shave.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
This is humiliating. Stand still so we can get an accurate reading. Okay, 18 pounds and a smidge.
A smidge?
You know, there's really no need to weigh packages under 70 pounds. With priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, if it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
Cool. You know, this scale is off a good 7-8 pounds. Maybe 5.
Priority mail flat rate boxes, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Volcano Taco. Get it while it's scorching hot. Only at Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Fox Sunday. All is safe with Homer Land Security.
The brewery is on that island.
I'll save you! The Simpsons. Then, after a King of the Hill neighborhood blowout, Trekkies engage. The cast of The Next Generation boldly goes to Family Guy.
You're a baby.
Oh my God, I am already having a fantastic time. Followed by Double Trouble for American Dad.
How can you just use him like that? He's a person, not a girl.
All starting Sunday at 7/6 Central on Fox.
Soriano leads it off and takes a strike from the lefty Eric Stoltz. Ryan Theriot will follow Soriano, then Milton Bradley. Top three in the lineup for the Cubs, who lead 1-0. A 2-out RBI double by Mike Fontenot last inning. That's strike 2. Soriano fouled out to first. His first time up. He's been dealing with a sore left knee. Hasn't homered since the 17th of May. Banged that knee into the wall late last month, and it has been bothering him. When Piniella, we talked to him about it, asked him if he needed a day off. He said, yeah, Monday, which is a day off in the schedule for the Cubs. He wants in there, and he waits for a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Soriano with 195 home runs, and the #1 spot in a lineup, which is second all time to Ricky Henderson's 293, and Ricky will go into the Hall of Fame this summer. 2-2 pitch is in the dirt. From 0-2 to 3-2.
You get the idea with Stoltz. He's trying to get Soriano out on balls out of the strike zone, which a lot of National League pitchers do. Alfonso, one of the freest swingers in the National League.
And he strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for Stoltz. That's the way the bottom of the third inning begins here at Wrigley. Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball. Reaching more than 4 million kids worldwide, together they create a positive place for kids. And this can certainly be a positive place for kids. Wrigley Field, as they are jammed in. And Theriot takes the ball.
We talked earlier about the rooftops across the street. Not only jammed here at the ballpark, but the Chicago Cubs get 17% of the revenue generated from fans sitting on the rooftops around Wrigley Field. It used to be nothing. And then the Cubs management said, we've got a pretty good product here to sell, and we want our fair share of income, and they got it now. What a scene.
Here's a 1-1. And another foul. I can tell you with great certainty that there aren't a lot of people across the streets on rooftops that are paying 100% attention to this game.
Right.
Hey, man, what are you doing? Give me a call.
No
Guy's reading a
cell
magazine.
No cell phones on the rooftops.
Got his feet up. And that grazed Theriot to send him down to first, and Stoltz is surprised that that ball hit Ryan Theriot.
Looked like that slider on which he struck out Theriot his last time up, and that one I think hit the back pant leg or the right pant leg. It's not that a pant leg is front and back. They're side by side for most people.
They are. I mean, it just depends on when you're looking at somebody.
When you're a hitter, you have a front and a back pant leg.
Here's Milton Bradley. And there goes Theriot. And there goes a line drive into right. Base hit. Theriot to third. Was cut off, and good movement on the bases. A base hit to right for Bradley, who's 2 for 2, and the Cubs have runners at the corners with 1 out for Derek Lee.
Little animation by Lou Piniella setting Theriot in motion, and a breaking ball on the inside, kind of inside outed by Bradley. Ethier really has no play with Theriot, a fast runner, running on the play, and the Cubs with a chance for more. That's the one thing Theriot did not want to do, depend on the second baseman to allow him to know where the ball is. He looked at the right fielder and went to third easily.
We're going to talk to Lou Piniella after this half inning is over, and one of the things we'll talk about is what we talked about with him before the game, which is his hope to just kind of tread water here over the next few weeks, get healthy, get Harden back, get closer to the time when Aramis Ramirez comes back. He believes that their bullpen is starting to settle in, and by the end of the summer they'll have a good mix down there. A lot of different faces here in 09 for Chicago. Here's Lee, and a good block by Martin. Bradley takes off. Throw down is in time, and he's out. And that takes the easier RBI chance away from Derek Lee, as now Terrio's at third with 2 out.
And that's what you have to be careful about when you try to run on a guy who is as athletic as Russell Martin. That ball does not bounce that far away. Now, you could understand Bradley being thrown out on a ball if the ball was to the left of Martin. But when it's to the right, the runner at first base has a clear view of where the ball is. That was not a good base running play by Bradley. Aggressive, but wrong.
Here's Lee now taking ball 2 up with Terrio at third, 2 out. Derek Lee flied out to left his first time. He's driven in 19 runs. A 2-0 on the inside corner from Stultz, 2-1. A lot of Cubs fans remember the collision that Derek Lee had with Rafael Furcal on a play at first base. Fractured his wrist. That was back in 2006. The power has dropped off a little since then, but he's still one of the more dangerous hitters and an outstanding defensive first baseman. 3 balls and a strike. Runner at third with 2 out. And a walk to put first and third for Reed Johnson. First walk by Eric Stultz in this game. Reed Johnson singled, stole a base, scored a run on the double by Fontenot last inning, and here he is first and third and a chance to add to the Chicago lead. And a bunt third base side, and a base hit, an RBI, and a 2-0 Chicago lead.
A bunt for a base hit and a beauty by Reed Johnson. You talk about a blueprint that he put down the third base line. The only guy who had any chance was the pitcher Stultz, and he slips.
It's certainly a play that if you're Reed Johnson and it works, people think, yeah, well, why not? Why not drop one down? Third baseman's back, the left-handed pitcher, big left-handed pitcher getting off the mound. Great play. If it doesn't work, it really sticks out. Then you say, well, gosh, this guy's hitting over 300 against left-handed pitching. He already has a hit. Why not swing the bat?
Well, that's why you want to bunt the ball and down the third base line. I mean, you can't make the error of bunting it too close to the pitcher. When you're trying a bunt attempt like that, it's got to be either down the line or foul. That was perfectly done by Johnson.
Honeycutt paid a visit. Now it's runners on at first and second with 2 out for Giovanni Soto.
It's what Lou Piniella meant when he said that Reed Johnson's a nice little player.
Lou likes the word little.
Yeah, he does. A nice little player.
We got a nice little bullpen.
Yeah.
We have a nice little rotation. Reed Johnson's a nice little player.
Lou's a nice little manager too.
Oh, yeah. Seems to be the perfect fit for the guy here in Chicago. We talk about stress. We talked about that with Joey Votto and Khalil Green and Dontrelle Willis. Lou Piniella seems to find a way to either relieve the stress by going out and letting his feelings show on the field toward an umpire, or laughing certain things off and saying, well, what can you do?
Yep.
There's a strike to Soto, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Bob Brenly and Lynn Casper do the majority of the Cub games. They do such a terrific job. I love listening to them. And Bob Brenly had a great line when Lou Piniella took over here. He said if Lou Piniella wins a world championship for the Cubs, they'll name a lake after him.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball left side. The shortstop for Cal makes the play. We'll talk about a man who maybe someday will have a lake named after him during the break. 2-0 Chicago.
We're off. Woo! Some smell funny, and it ain't the ponies. Floppy hats at 10 o'clock. Closest to the track, but farthest from reality. Excuse me, sir. Pardon me, ma'am. Good, honest beer at a tasty price is neck and neck with hoity-toity atmosphere. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And y'all gonna find out today, because you're about to lose this highlight. Woo, your head almost hit me in my face. We want to hand this out to the people really watching the race. It's a liberating landslide blowout victory for common sense.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawet is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawet is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawet can help you go for both your goals.
Fried. Grilled. Fried.
Grilled. Fried.
Grilled.
Right.
Grilled.
Chicken. Kentucky grilled chicken.
Kentucky grilled chicken. I like the sound of that. I may have spoken too soon.
If you think KFC is all about fried chicken, it's time to unthink. New Kentucky Grilled Chicken is here. Marinated and grilled to perfection for that 5-star fall-off-the-bone taste. Mix original and grilled in your bucket. 10 delicious pieces for just $9.99.
How we can have both?
Tasty on fried side of KFC.
Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by the new Kentucky Grilled Chicken. Taste the unfried side of KFC. By Catawet. And by Bank of America. Show the world it's not like, it's love. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America. Sun pops out from behind the clouds here at Wrigley, and Ryan Dempster now has a 2-0 lead. Deal with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Dodgers. That's for Call, Orlando Hudson, and James Loney. Since Manny Ramirez was put on the suspended list on May the 7th, the Dodgers have changed the way they've scored runs and consequently won games. Joe Torre has the top 3 spots in his lineup filled with guys who have all hit leadoff for other clubs in the past. And so they're more of a run producing team as opposed to a club that lays back waiting for a long ball, waiting for Manny Ramirez to sling the team on his back and carry him. Run production is dead even from when Manny Ramirez was on the active roster. That's ball 1 up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
In fact, the Dodgers have produced the fewest runs via the home run than any team in baseball.
It's been a precipitous drop since Manny Ramirez left the club. That's outside, 2-2.
They just came to Chicago after winning 3 games at Coors Field in Colorado and didn't hit a home run. That was the first time a visiting team had ever gone into Coors Field in Denver and won a 3-game series and didn't hit a home run.
There's strike 3 for Call. Was looking for something else, and Dempster has his 4th strikeout in a row. We talked to Lou Piniella. First question was about his day today and his club, with Dempster pitching well, and his team has come out and scratched out a couple of runs.
Well, that's a style of baseball we've been playing lately. We depend on good pitching and putting just enough runs on the board. And it's been working. Hopefully it works a little better. But look, we've had some problems here injury-wise, and we've scuffled a little bit. But, you know, we're still in contention, and we hope to stay there.
Yeah, and really you have to feel like if you can keep doing what you're doing, hang close when you get healthy, then I think we'll all have a better sense as to how good the Cubs are here in 2009.
That's really a good case in point. That's exactly what our objectives are, and once we get completely healthy, we're starting to put our bullpen together the way we want. The rotation, when we get Harden back in, so you're exactly right. That's our job, and hopefully we can do that.
All right, you got 10 seconds, Lou. How good of a player is Reed Johnson? You like watching him play, don't you?
Yeah, he knows how to play. He really does. He's very professional. Does an excellent job in the outfield. Can hit for reasonable power, and he can lay down a bunt like he did there. Great play.
Hey, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. So with one out and nobody on, and after that chat, a 3-ball 1-strike count on Orlando Hudson, and now a 1-out walk. So that breaks a string of 4 consecutive strikeouts by Dempster and puts a man on for James Loney, who was driven in 36 runs, 5th highest total in the National League, but has only 2 home runs hit here in 2009.
That's another example of the Dodgers and their different style offense under Joe Torre without Manny Ramirez.
Wanted to talk to Lou Piniella about that Gatorade machine that's in their dugout.
Yeah.
If I kind of wondered if that was something that was available to Lou when he was a player. Throw down to first and back easily as Hudson. If that a machine or something like it would have had a few dents in it when he was playing, I would imagine. I know it's sponsored by Gatorade. You could put a target on that thing because it's just waiting to get pummeled by a bat or some upset pitcher or hitter.
Well, the one thing with Lou, when Lou was a player, the Gatorade cooler had to be on the floor because he used to kick things. He was very careful about not hitting objects that don't move with his hands, because your hands are your business partner. You gotta, you know, Lou was not a fast runner, so if he broke a toe, broke a bone in the foot, it wasn't as big a deal as breaking something in the hand.
But he could get his leg up there.
Yeah, well, he could.
I mean, if he had to, in a pinch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out.
Carlos Zambrano, however, uses neither his hand or his foot, particularly when he went after the Gatorade machine on Wednesday.
Dempster went after it. I mean, it's just begging. Lou said that thing's been hit so many times I pushed the water button and fruit juice came out. That's a strike over the inside corner, and strike 2 on James Loney. We will show you what's gone on here during the week after Loney does something here with 1 on, 1 out, and the Dodgers down 2-0 in the 4th. That's in the air to left. Long run for Soriano. And now back a few to make the catch in fair territory. 2 out. Here is Carlos Zambrano on Wednesday. That is Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire. That's Zambrano's bat. That's the Gatorade thing. And that's on the road at Dodger Stadium. Maybe something with Gatorade.
Yeah, they ought to change the machine's name to Snapple, because that's exactly what Zambrano has done.
1 on, 2 out. The batter is Ethier, and that's a ball. Kenny, keep your eyes peeled. You may see something down in that Cubs dugout before the end of the day, and you're closer than we are.
Joe, we've heard about abuses involving voting machines in this town, but the Gatorade machine now qualifies as the piece of equipment that is getting the most abuse. A Cubs official told me it only has a couple of more days because basically they want to get it out of there.
There's a strike over the inside corner.
There are some teams that have a punching bag in the dugout for guys who are frustrated. And to me, that's a good idea, because when you hit it, not only will it not hit back, but it won't hurt your hands.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, 1 on, 2 out. I think the television in the clubhouse is a great release of stress for the guys who sit back and second guess everything we say. These guys are morons.
That's a point.
It was a curveball, not a slider. The 1-1. A little high, 2 balls and a strike. Dempster wanted it, didn't get the call, and now he falls behind on the count. So he talks to his glove. Doesn't want to go over the top with any issues with umpires. I think the Cubs have had enough of that for the first half of 2009. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And a good delivery. Had Ethier out in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good splitter and a fastball count to Ethier.
Hudson on at first. They drew a 1-out walk. Dodgers have only 1 hit. It belongs to Russell Martin, that went off the third base bag in the second. And a check on Hudson, who with 2 strikes here could run. Orlando's stolen 4 and has not been caught so far this season.
Fastball inside.
There goes Hudson, and a fly ball into left. Easy for Soriano. Flips down the glasses, makes his hop, makes the catch. Dodgers have left 2, trail by 2. As we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Hey, Earth. Come here. Time for a little come to dentist meeting. Your parents were right, your teachers were right, even that creepy scoutmaster with the tight brown shorts was right. TV is slowly rotting your brain and turning it into a slimy, gooey, mushy blob of pudding, and there's nothing you can do about it. See? I just told you what was happening, and you're still watching TV. Amazing. But this whole slowly part is getting to be a real problem. Well, guess what? Hulu. We built Hulu to pump thousands of hours of free TV right into the one screen you drag around everywhere. Hence... Now I need you to take your stubby little human fingers and hit this button on Hulu. Then you can share those TV shows in your bliggity blogs and your facey spaces and your Tweety pages for all your bookwormy anti-boob-to-be friends. So here's the deal. Help us churn their finely cultured skull beef down to the aforementioned pudding, and we'll slurp out yours last. Eh? Yeah, because we're aliens. And you ain't soup yet.
Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
Why is it raining? Who's the rain?
Roger that.
No rain, no rainbows.
Could you tell us what's going on? Yeah, the cake is en route, the tulips just arrived, and the groom is...
He's getting cold feet. I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Look, we gotta go now. The light's perfect.
I need the stunt groom now. What's a stunt groom?
Jackpot.
Get work done now. Nextel Direct Connect with GPS tracking. Only on the Now Network.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only one a day men's 50+ Advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration. Plus, support for prostate and heart health. That's a great call.
One a day men's.
The story of Tim Lincecum begins in the backyard. Dad, son, and a pitcher's mound. Dad taught him that astonishing delivery by doing things like placing a dollar bill on the ground to make sure he'd follow through.
3-2 pitch.
Tim's followed through all right.
And Tim Lincecum gets it done.
It's no freak show. It's a story that just keeps getting better. This is beyond dedication. This is beyond baseball.
Back to work is the left-hander Eric Stultz. It'll be the bottom part of the order. 7, 8, and 9. Scales, Fontenot, and Dempster for the Cubs, who lead 2-zip. Well-pitched ball game so far on each side. Better by Dempster than Stultz. Scales takes ball 1. Bobby struck out his first time. And now up on the count 2-0. Stoltz is 4-1. He's been much better at home. 3-0 at Dodger Stadium. 1-1 on the road with a big ERA of just under 6.5. 2-0 pitch is down and away. 3-0.
That is one statistic that I have always understood. When a pitcher is better at home than he is on the road, the reason that he should be is you play 81 games at home and the mound is the same. On the road, the mounds vary. They don't vary in height, but they vary in slope and in feel. So being 3-0 at home and 1-1 on the road makes sense for almost any pitcher.
Well, there's a uniform height as to how high the mound should be, but correct me if I'm wrong, over the years there was always the rumor or the perception that the mound at Dodger Stadium was higher than others.
There, from what pitchers told me, both during my playing days and after, was that slope at Dodger Stadium on the pitcher's mound was the best in baseball, and I see no reason that it's still not the best in baseball.
Check on the runner. That's Scales.
The height of the mound lowered after the 1968 season from 15 inches to 10 inches. I've always marveled at the fact that they lowered the mound, but in basketball they haven't raised the baskets, and yet basketball players are 7'6" and 7'4".
They live above the rim.
Yeah, live above the rim. Right.
Here is Russell Martin jogging out to talk to Stoltz, and now Honeycutt will pay a visit, and Guillermo Mota, right-hander who's now back with the Dodgers, will get loose as Stoltz walked the leadoff man. He's behind on the count to Fontenot, which gives us time for a DirecTV game break. So far for Tampa Bay, David Price has 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. The first 2, Morneau and Kadire swinging. No score, bottom of the third, 1-0 Minnesota. Joe Dillon solo home run to left off Liriano. First home run this season for Dillon. It's a 1-1 game then. It's 3-1 now. Bottom of the third, Tampa Bay Rays on top of the Twins. Watch your favorite MLB team no matter where you live with DirecTV. 1-0 is the count on Fontenot. First RBI of this game with a 2-out double into right center field. This guy Fontenot's not a big guy, but he can put a charge into a baseball, and now gets a sniff of one up under his chin. It's 2-0.
Chin music, a tune that hitters do not like. That was close.
It looks like Stoltz is struggling right now to find his release point. Doesn't know where it's going as Fontenot fouls it back, and it's 2-1.
That was ball 3 to Fontenot, but pardon me, he took Stoltz off the hook. You could see this ball tailing up and in. Fontenot helped him out.
So with Mota warming up, Stoltz is trying to hang in the game, and as we said earlier, Perotta's coming back to this Dodger rotation on Monday. So Stoltz needs to be better than this, and he doesn't know where it's going right now. 3-1. Looks like he's aiming it, trying to find the strike zone, and if he guides one in there and makes it too easy of a pitch. Fontenot, as I said, not a big guy, 5 home runs, and during batting practice he was hitting them out onto Sheffield Avenue beyond the right field wall here at Wrigley. Here's a 3-1 and a fly ball into right center field. Well hit. This ball is one hop off the ivy. Scales will score easily. Fontenot will head to third and make it with an RBI triple. 3-0 Chicago here in the fourth.
Gene Mauch, the late great manager, used to call 3-1 and 2-0 pitches down the middle of the plate when a hitter was expecting them. Cookies. Here is a cookie to Fontenot. Boy, did he hammer it.
And now a shower for Eric Stoltz as he gives up an RBI triple to Fontenot. That's his last pitch of the day. Scales scores easily. Runner at third. Nobody out. Stoltz is gone. Dempster coming up. Mota coming in.
Okay.
No, you don't need. We don't need that. Yes, next week.
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can take you to a more interesting place.
Who's that? My husband.
Just for Men.
It's back, it's beefed up, and better than ever. It's Applebee's 2 for $20 menu, now including real burgers. 2 of you can get 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, and a real night out for just $20. Choose a classic like our 7-ounce house sirloin and Oriental chicken salad. Or one of Applebee's Real at First Bite real burgers. Made fresh, slammed with flavor, and stacked high with the stuff you love most. Real variety, real value, real deal. 2 for $20 is back, only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby. Pepsi! Sing it about Pepsi!
His parents were among those who marched for civil rights in 1963. Ryan Howard knows the meaning of strength. His parents taught him how to use it. You can see it in his eyes. And you witnessed it when he lifted that trophy. This is beyond inspiration. This is beyond baseball.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Eric Stoltz's finish goes 3+ innings. That's it. 6 hits. He's allowed 3 runs. Responsible for the runner at third. Nobody out. And Moda pitches to Dempster and strike 1. Time for the Zantac relief pitcher profile. Heartburn, attack it with Zantac, and this is Moda, who came up through the Expos organization, established himself in the big leagues with the Dodgers, and now here he is back around pitching for LA again. 2 quick strikes on Ryan Dempster.
If you're ever at the ballpark and one of your friends says, well, man on third, no outs, the pitcher's up, you ought to squeeze here. Tell them you never squeeze with nobody out. Never.
Here's an 0-2. And strike 3. Dempster knew it. He heads back. And a good start to the outing from Moda. But now it gets tougher with Soriano walking to the plate.
Yeah, the reason you never squeeze with nobody out is because your next hitter is an RBI man in this particular instance.
And that's Soriano with 25 on the year and 12 home runs, which is good for tied for 8th in the National League. That closed stance of Soriano hangs right over the plate and almost hit by the pitch. Ball 1.
Well, that's why you have to pitch him inside. You have to maintain control of the outside corner, and with Alfonso Soriano hanging over the plate like that, it's often good strategy to get him away from there and then go away.
Doesn't back off after that first pitch inside. Now a 1-0. Pretty good pitch. 2-0. Soriano has some of the best wrists in the game. He just rolls the wrists and the ball jumps off his bat.
Only weighs 170 pounds, but he hits like he weighs 210.
2-0 pitch to the right side. Loney looks at the runner. Fontenot gets the out at first. 2 away. So Soriano can't produce the run. And it will be up for Ryan Theriot here with 2 out in the 4th.
Now you can see how Fontenot is off at third base and then stops. You can do that when the ball's hit to the right side of the infield. You can come halfway because no first baseman really has a good enough arm to throw behind the runner.
It's up to Terrio for Chicago. Hit by a pitch, scored a run as last time. And ball one up and away. Fontenot's had a nice day batting in the number 8 spot. The third baseman has driven home 2, one with a double, one with a triple. Now he waits for Terrio to bring him home. 1-1 and a huge swing by the Chicago shortstop.
Yeah, Ryan Terrio wants this pitch back right down the pipe. Just swung through it.
Down and away. For the game, Andres Blanco was taking ground balls over at third base, and Alan Trammell was hitting fungos to him, giving him ground balls. And Terrio took over for Trammell and started hitting fungos before he got in the cage to take his BP to work on his stroke, and he delivers with a 2-out RBI hit to left to score Fontenot and make it 4-0 here in the 4th inning.
My advice to Terrio would be to take the fungo up again tomorrow afternoon before the game. Do the same thing as he drives in the 4th Cub run of the game. Another fastball. He did get that fastball back. You remember the swing and a miss? And then he gets it back and drives in Fontenot, his old LSU teammate.
This Cub team was 1 for 17 hitting with runners in scoring position the first 2 games of this series. Come through 3 times in 7 chances so far here today, and now Milton Bradley stands in. And a late swing and a miss, strike 1. The story with Bradley is not only good production, he's a career .280 hitter. He's bounced around in his career, usually been productive. I've played for the Dodgers for a while. What he brings typically is a very high on base percentage as Terrio goes, and Bradley fouls it out of play. A .425 on base percentage between the last 2 years, 07 and 08. This year he's at .330 and doesn't seem to have a real good feel for the strike zone and hasn't settled in yet in his first year with the Cubs, first year of a 3-year deal. Terrio draws a throw. Ken Rosenthal, the Cubs moved some money to be able to sign Milton Bradley to a big deal, didn't they?
They sure did. They traded Mark DeRosa. They traded Jason Marquis. Their intent was to get more left-handed, bringing in the switch hitter Bradley, playing Fontenot at second base. Milton Bradley told me yesterday, this is the first time in his whole career that he struggled like this. It's not a normal situation for me. I don't know how to react.
He has a chance here with 0-2. Instead, another throw over. One of the reasons why they wanted to get more left-handed was because of their performance in that 3-game series last year in the divisional round against the Dodgers.
That's right, Joe. They lacked balance, and they knew that. But with DeRosa gone, Ramirez getting hurt, DeRosa would have filled that spot. These moves have been debated hotly here in Chicago, and they'll be debated the entire season if the Cubs continue to struggle.
Crowd's getting restless with Mota continually throwing over to first.
Well, particularly a guy like Mark DeRosa. He had 87 RBIs last year, and Lou Piniella called him the most valuable player on the club. How many times do you see a team reach the postseason and then trade their most valuable player? Jim Hendry, the general manager, saying we needed young pitching and we had to give up DeRosa.
The other name on that list, obviously Kerry Wood, who was the closer and now is in Cleveland, and then Jason Marquis, who's tied for the league lead with his 7 wins, tied with Johan Santana. And I would imagine Jason Marquis' name will pop up on potential lists for different teams looking to add pitching as we go through 09. The pitch is high. The throw to second is in time, and Terrio's out stealing to win the inning. Terrio saying he tagged me on my ear. I was already on the base, but he's doing it so politely. Don't even be mad. The Gatorade cooler is safe. Inning over. 4-0 Chicago after 4.
I gotta have it, and I want it, and I need it, 'cause I love it, love it. I gotta have it, and I want it, and I need it, 'cause I love it, love it. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
The unbeatable epic taste of McDonald's Big Mac. You so want one.
I'm loving it.
To everyone who plays in the sun, waterproof and sweatproof sunscreen can wear out before you do, leaving skin vulnerable to the sun's damaging rays. New Neutrogena Ultimate Sport, the best line of sports sunblock. With Helioplex technology, it helps provide the highest average UVA, UVB protection, and is also 3 times more waterproof than testing standards. Play on with Ultimate Sport from Neutrogena Sun Care, recommended most by dermatologists.
I've had some issues with personal assistants, so I got myself this Samson Jack. The last assistant must have had hearing problems. The RV shop and getting to 44. Right. The bloke before him kept very strange hours.
Good morning, Mr. Osborne.
But this new Samson Jack's great. Emails, shopping, this scheduling thingy. It even helps me around the house.
Prepare to turn left.
Oh, this is new.
Samsung Jack, the personal assistant, perfected.
These days, when you buy a Hyundai, you tell everyone. By email, text, or tweet. You call it social networking. We call it great PR, the kind worth paying for. So now, Hyundai Assurance does. Buy select new models and Hyundai will send you money every month for the rest of the year. And if you lose your income in the next 12 months, you can still return the car. But keep the money, your credit rating, and your integrity. Getting money to send a message. Ain't technology great?
Give you the Hyundai in-game box score for the Dodgers, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. You can see only the one hit. That's the job that Ryan Dempster has done. The guy at the plate has that hit. Now he is 1 for 2 as Russell Martin takes the first pitch and lines out to Mike Fontenot to start the 5th. 4-0 now. Chicago leads it. Now to bring in Mark Loretta, who's 0 for 1.
But every time I see Russell Martin, I think of last year's All-Star game, 15-inning affair in the last year of Yankee Stadium. Russell Martin was the catcher. He made those brilliant plays. The tag on the throw by Nate McLouth. What a memorable All-Star game that was.
That was at Yankee Stadium in its final year. And we will be in St. Louis on July 14th. And it'll be the 5th time that St. Louis will host the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and the first time since 1966. At the second version of Busch Stadium, now they're in their 3rd. That's back to Dempster, who's making it look easy. 2 out. Take a look at who is leading in the National League voting. So far in the outfield, it's Ryan Braun, Carlos Beltran, and Alfonso Soriano of the Cubs. You see Wright, J.J. Hardy, Chase Utley, Pujols, and Yadier Molina, the catcher. But down in the left-hand corner, you have Manny Ramirez, who is currently 4th at last check, about 34,000 votes shy of Beltran, who is in the number 3 spot in the outfield. And that has obviously sparked the debate across the country as to whether Manny Ramirez should be an all-star. Currently serving a 50-game suspension for violating the league's drug policy.
I think with the circumstances surrounding Manny Ramirez, he should not be on the All-Star team as a starter or as a substitute.
That's down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if he's voted in, he's voted in.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the procedure that's in place.
That's right. Opinion really doesn't matter.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's always been in the hands of the fans, or it has been, where they have done the voting, and I think for the most part they've done a good job. The fans in general have done a good job in stocking the starting lineups for each side over the years. Joe Torre was asked about it came out and said that he agrees with what you just said, that in this case, with Ramirez coming off the suspension on July 3rd and what he's gone through, and with the suspension, that he should not be an all-star. And he went on to say, if you asked Manny, he'd give you the same answer. Voting ends on July 2nd. Manny returns, barring rainouts, on July 3rd. That's just up and in. Torrey went on to say that I think the significance of the All-Star game is to reward players who have had a good first half. Ramirez hitting .348, 6 homers, 20 RBIs in 27 games when he was suspended. Tough play, and right through Fontenot into left. Should be a base hit for Kemp, and that will bring the pitcher's spot, and Brad Ausmus will come off the bench and pinch hit for Mota.
Joe, there has been some talk about Commissioner Bud Selig perhaps saying that that Manny Ramirez cannot play in the All-Star game. I talked to Gene Orza, who's the chief operating officer of the Major League Baseball Players Association, and he said he referred us to Section 8, Article H, and that states that a player shall be deemed to have been eligible to play in the All-Star game if he was elected or selected to play. And here's the key point. The commissioner's office shall not exclude a player from eligibility for election or selection because he is suspended under the program. So it's really against the collective bargaining agreement that the players have with Major League Baseball. So if you follow the letter of the law, the commissioner cannot say that Manny Ramirez is not allowed to play in the All-Star game.
See Jeff Weaver getting loose. Ken Rosenthal is with us, as he has been all day and all year, and weigh in on it. What do you think, Ken Rosenthal? Do you think Manny Ramirez, let's say he is voted in, is this a case where the commissioner is then compelled to do something to stop that from happening, or just let it happen?
Absolutely not, Joe. He cannot selectively prosecute Manny. You've had A-Rod admit to using steroids. Bonds was elected as a starter in '07 after he told a grand jury that he unknowingly used substances alleged to be steroids. We've seen time and time again over the past few years that fans do not hold baseball to a high moral standard. They see it as entertainment. All through the steroid era, attendance has risen, revenues have risen. If they want to see Manny, they're going to see Manny.
2 balls and a strike on the pinch hitter Ausmus as Dempster tries to get around a 2-out hit by Kemp. That's off the plate to the shortstop Terrio, and a throw across ends the inning. Dempster has been outstanding. We'll talk to Joe Torre during the break. Play it for you in the bottom half of the 5th. Going there 4-0 Chicago.
Captain, we have 4 hours to comply with their demands.
Since you can't end this standoff, you will miss my army crush the pitiful humans on TV tonight.
Don't worry about it. I have DirecTV. I can easily set my home DVR and record the movie right from here.
Impressive technology for a human.
Humans are smarter than apes.
With DirecTV, you can easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Hey, can I help you?
No, thanks. I'm just getting some pennies. I gave last time.
Lemonade, mister?
No, thanks. Just pennies. It's the 89-cent grilled chicken burrito.
This is only 88 cents.
Ooh, 89. See you tomorrow.
Tender grilled chicken, avocado ranch sauce. It's the new grilled chicken burrito, and it's only 89 cents. Why pay more?
LG Xenon, your world at your fingertips. Buy it for $99.99 after mail-in rebate and get one free after mail-in rebate. Only from AT&T.
What's this?
It's a promise. One day we'll have our own place.
Being there, it's about protecting what you have and reaching for your dreams. Talk to a State Farm agent and start planning today.
Jeff Weaver takes over for the Dodgers. He's the third pitcher of the day. Eric Stoltz, a left-hander, goes 3+, 4 runs, 6 hits. Mota, 1 inning, 1 hit. He allowed an inherited runner to score. Did strike out 1, and now Jeff Weaver is into the ball game in the bottom of the 5th with a 4-0 Chicago lead, and Milton Bradley, who was at the plate when Terrio was caught stealing to end the 4th, is getting a fresh at bat to start the 5th. Hard to believe, but these two clubs have faced each other 2,026 times, and each team has won 1,013 of those meetings.
Since 1890. That is remarkable.
Split right down the middle, and they've split the first 2 games of this 4-game series. Cubs lead today, and there's ball 1 to Milton Bradley. And Bradley off the end of the bat into right field. He has his 3rd hit of the afternoon, starting to heat up. Here's our chat with Joe Torre, and the first question was about his left-handed starter Eric Stoltz and what he saw from him today.
Well, Joe, a couple of weeks ago he jammed a thumb, and it seems he starts out all right, and then you notice he slows down. His tempo is slower, and I have a sense that he's getting a little tougher feel for the ball after the first couple innings. I thought the first 2 innings he was aggressive, and it just looked like he slowed the tempo down.
It's hard for us, Joe, to ignore the issue at hand. We were just talking about Manny Ramirez, and Tim weighed in and basically echoed what you said and were quoted as saying yesterday, which is you don't believe that with the suspension Manny Ramirez should be an all-star, that somebody else should be rewarded for having a good first half.
Well, Joe, Timmy tell you, he's been an all-star a number of times. I've been on a number of teams, and it's a prideful thing when you do well in the first half. And if Manny obviously didn't have much of a first half, so if he's on the team, it's really keeping somebody who's played more and is more deserving in the first half.
Joe, we thank you for your time, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Joe Torre saying that yesterday, and he obviously has been around this game long enough and has established the credibility to say that about his own player as Derek Lee fouls it back. And I think there's a slight distinction between arguments. I think what Joe Torre is saying is that it should be more performance-based as opposed to punitive against Manny Ramirez for being found in violation of the baseball drug policy and basically extending his punishment to keep him out of the All-Star game.
Yeah, because not performing in the first half of the season is not necessarily, it does not preclude a player from making the All-Star team. Rafael Palmeiro, in fact, when I was talking to Gene Orza the other day, Gene brought up Palmeiro of several years ago. And I really haven't checked when that was, but I think Palmeiro played 16 games and ended up starting the All-Star game because he was voted in.
That is off the plate. And again, it brings back what Ken said, and I would agree with Ken 100% on this, that it's in the hands of the fans. The starting lineup is in the hands of the fans. They vote. They send the players this year to St. Louis as the starting lineup. And if the fans, more of them, want to see Manny Ramirez than somebody else, then they will, period. And really the commissioner's hands are tied in this case because it's in the collective bargaining agreement that he can't, in essence, extend the punishment. That's down the left field line off the bat of Lee. Bradley will stop at third, and it's second and third with nobody out for the Cubs here in the 5th inning.
What the Cubs have done today that they haven't done really in the past month with any consistency is they've gotten runners in scoring position and on third base with either none or one out. And when you do that, you have a chance to score cheap runs. You don't depend on that 2-out RBI that's so difficult to come by.
So now it's Reed Johnson, who's 2 for 2. Dealing with Jeff Weaver. The infield comes in about halfway up the middle. Runners on at second and third, nobody out. And Weaver's first is in for a strike. Jeff Weaver has had an interesting run the last couple of years. He was as big a reason as anybody why the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Series in 2006. That is not overstating it. What he did in establishing himself in their rotation under the guidance of Dave Duncan, a big reason why they won it all and beat the Tigers that year in the series. There's a strike to Reed Johnson. Didn't like the call. It's 0-2. He then left St. Louis as a free agent.
Went to Seattle, right?
Went up to Seattle, and well, he didn't go well there at all. He's found his way back to the Dodgers and has been effective. 0-2 pitch is just hammered foul. Final in from Toronto, 5-3 as the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox. The Marlins took it to the Mets. Atlanta beating Arizona. Tampa Bay still leading now. They've added to it 4-1 in the 5th inning over Minnesota. Here's an 0-2. And fastball is high. 1-2. Sidearm delivery is smothered by Russell Martin. 2-2. Cubs could blow it open here in the 5th inning with the way that Ryan Dempster is pitching. They might have enough already. Dempster's allowed only 2 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 4. He leads 4-0, trying to rebound from a 4-inning outing, his last time out against the Pirates, the start of this homestand. First time this season he did not turn in at least 6 innings as a starter. A 2-2. Full count. After Johnson, it is Soto. And the advantage is gone for Jeff Weaver from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count. Second and third, nobody out, and a foul straight back. We were doing the game last Saturday, Tim, in New York at Yankee Stadium with the Phillies playing the Yankees, and we were talking about the Phillies being short in their rotation. They may be real short now with Brett Myers going down with a torn right labrum.
Out for the season.
It's in his hip. Yep. Another torn labrum in a hip.
I'd never heard that word 10 years ago. Labrum, not hip.
You know me well. You knew where I was going. That's down and away, and that'll load him up. A single, a double, a walk. Soto coming up. Fox Saturday Baseball is presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. What a day to be up above in a blimp. Whether it's looking down here at Wrigley Field or pointing your camera in the direction of Chicago, which will be jumping tonight, or looking out into Lake Michigan. And our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game in HD this season with DirecTV. Bases loaded with nobody out for Giovanni Soto. And the ball low. Bradley the runner at third, Lee at second, Reed Johnson on at first. And that's ball 2.
Big league hitters thrive in these situations. And Rick Honeycutt knows it.
He knows what has happened in this Cubs lineup today, and now you will. Our Hyundai in-game box score as we introduce the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Soriano not in on the fun. The guy at the plate, Giovanni Soto, is not in on the fun. Fontenot certainly is, with a triple, a double, 2 RBIs. Reed Johnson, a couple of hits, now a walk. Derek Lee with a double and a walk. And how about Milton Bradley heating up a little on this homestand? He has 3 hits. So Honeycutt after the visit with nobody getting loose for the Dodgers in their pen. Back to the dugout. And here comes a dangerous 2-0 pitch to Giovanni Soto. Right down the middle, 2-1. And a little bang of the bat onto the helmet. Disappointed he let that one go by untouched.
Yeah, Soto thinking, what was I thinking then?
The 2-1. A little high and tight, 3 balls and a strike.
So Giovanni has a chance to do it again. A 3-1 count, similar to a 2-0 count.
Soto hitting .288 in May, 0 for 2 in this game. Pops it up, back, and out of play. Full count. Bradley, Lee, and Johnson the runners on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Cubs already up 4, and ball 4 makes it 5-0. Back-to-back walks after the 2 hits, and Weaver forces home a run. So Bradley scores. He led off this inning with a base hit to right. And here is Bobby Scales. And ball 1 from Weaver. Already 22 pitches in this 5th inning. Nobody out. A run is home, and the bases are loaded for this veteran right-hander. Bobby Scales has an opportunity here. There's a strike. Cubs have put 6 players on the disabled list during the month of May. One of them is Aaron Miles, a free agent addition over the offseason, and a utility backup infielder. Another one is Ryan Friel, and when he was put on the DL, Scales, who had been sent out to AAA, never really left the city, was reinstated to the active roster, and now with the bases loaded, nobody out, good movement on that pitch. Scales in the hole, 1 and 2.
Yeah, Lou Piniella telling us that his infield badgered by injuries, and the Cubs were thinnest in the infield. Only 1 extra infielder breaking camp.
That's foul. Cubs with a chance for a back-breaking hit in the inning. Instead, a ground ball. Hudson starts it for Call in the middle. Double play. In to score is Lee. And it's 6-0 Cubs. Runner at third, 2 out. No RBI for Scales, but another run for Chicago, who lead by 6.
And you may be thinking, why not play the infield in? Well, the bases are loaded, nobody out. The odds are the double play gets you out of the inning with fewer runs scored. Cubs already have a 6-0 lead, but the percentages there favor the double play depth.
So Fontenot, who's doubled home a run, tripled home a run, scored once, gets the intentional pass. It'll be 1st and 3rd for Ryan Dempster, who has done more than his share on the mound today for Chicago. So now 1st and 3rd, 2 out for Dempster. Next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Ryan Howard and the defending world champs, the Phils, head to Los Angeles, take on these Dodgers. A rematch of last year's NLCS. So the Indians take on the White Sox, and the Twins take on the Mariners. That's Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Sears. It returns next week at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Here's Dempster. Ryan is 2 for 24 swinging the bat.
You could see Russell Martin stepping out in front of home plate. You may be interested in what he's doing. He's telling the middle infielders, on the rare chance if Fontenot runs, what he's going to do with the ball. And I would imagine all those signs that Russell was giving, if Fontenot does attempt a steal of second base, he will not throw through. Not with the pitcher batting and 2 out.
Here's an 0-1 from Weaver. And a little squirter off the end of the bat, foul out of play, strike 2. First 2 games of this series, both 2-1 affairs. The Dodgers winning on Thursday, Cubs yesterday. For the Cubs, 3 runs in the first 2 games, 17 hits. Look at what they did with runners in scoring position. A lot of frustration. Only 4 left on base so far here today. 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and ball 1 inside to Ryan Dempster. I don't know who runs the scoreboard here at Wrigley Field, but I would like that person to pick my stocks. Because it seems like before the pitch is caught, it's either a ball or a strike on the scoreboard here at Wrigley. Here's another foul by Dempster.
That's a bold statement. Now to have somebody pick your stocks.
Well, looking for anything. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Weaver to Dempster. Inning is over. Weaver put the first 3 on, then walked a run home. A double play ball followed a strikeout of Dempster. 6-0 Chicago as we go into the 6th on a beautiful day by Lake Michigan.
I race to win. I gain a competitive edge over my opponents by knowing when it's the perfect time to change my tires. Even the best things wear out. So when it comes to shaving, I know when to change my blade.
Gillette Fusion's indicator strip fades to white when it may be time to change.
Because when I'm in my best, I win on every level. Fresh blade, better shave.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Fried. Grilled. Fried.
Grilled. Fried.
Grilled. Right. Grilled.
Chicken. Kentucky Grilled Chicken.
Kentucky Grilled Chicken. I like the sound of that. I may have spoken too soon.
If you think KFC is all about fried chicken, it's time to unthink. New Kentucky Grilled Chicken is here. Marinated and grilled to perfection for that 5-star fall-off-the-bone taste. Mix original and grilled in your bucket. 10 delicious pieces for just $9.99.
How we can have both?
Tasty on fried side of KFC.
Discover a distinctly different flavor. Born of Cascade hops and caramel malted barley for a full-bodied taste and bright hoppy finish. It's not just a fresh take on beer. It's a fresh take on ale. Budweiser American Ale.
How bad is your heartburn?
My heartburn? It's like a volcano in my chest. Boom! But one Zantac later, and that volcano is history. All day or all night.
Heartburn, attack it. Zantac.
Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell, sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. By Gillette Fusion, Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. And by Craftsman, trust in your hands. Top of the 6th inning, and Ryan Dempster is back to work. Only 2 hits allowed by Dempster. And he fires a strike to Juan Pierre, who is 0 for 2. Talked about what Pierre has done with his average, coming in at .411 since Manny Ramirez was suspended. Casey Blake has hit .400 over that time, and the Dodgers have raced out to by far the best record in the big leagues, and an 8.5 game lead in the West over the Giants. Good pitch to tie up Pierre, strike 2.
Juan Pierre went 0 for 4 within the last 5 years, and it was against a good pitcher. And after the game, a reporter said, well, that pitcher really had great stuff and very effective on you. And Juan said, he's got a big house too. Isn't that a great line? He's got a big house too.
Here's a ground ball to the second baseman. Scales scoops it up and throws him out, 1 away, and Pierre has been held off base. Pierre got a big contract to get a big house coming to the Dodgers, and he has since put on the shelf since Manny Ramirez joined LA last year. There's the Dodgers and what they're doing in the NL West. Start talking about a magic number before too long.
Yeah.
But now Pierre is back, getting a chance to play, and a pitch to for Call is high, ball 1. Juan Pierre, a big part of a Marlins championship back in 2003 when they beat the Yankees.
I was talking to Charlie Steiner, who's a broadcaster for the Dodgers, before the game, and I told him, I said, you know, the Dodgers have a 9-game lead in the National League West, and I would imagine that they're getting tired of everybody saying, well, sure, they've got a 9-game lead, but they're in a weak division. You know, this is a very good ball club. I mean, to where when they get back, and Manny Ramirez back, with the way things are going and the rest of the National League, you know, they could be the best. They could be a favorite to go to the World Series in postseason.
I totally agree. And when you talk about their lineup, I think you also have to look at their bench. You have to look at the combination of youth and guys that are finally coming into their own under the guidance of Joe Torre, the presence of Joe Torre in the dugout. There's a good veteran group that travels around with his Dodger team. They've added Brad Ausmus. They've got Mark Loretta, who's in the lineup today and is just a good professional player. Orlando Hudson's been a great addition. Mark Sweeney, who was one of the more liked players, is now an assistant coach and travels with this club. And even Doug Minkiewicz, who's such a good influence on younger players, is on the disabled list, maybe hoping to get a chance to play in September, but he's traveling with this club just because of what he brings, his experience. And so when you walk into their clubhouse and you see young guys like Broxton and Billingsley and Kershaw and some of the others, and then you see the veterans, you know why this team is rolling in the NL West. Ryan Dempster is rolling on the mound. He has struck out 5. He's allowed no runs on 2 hits and leads 6-0 after 5.5 at Wrigley.
Why is it raining? Who's the rain?
Roger that.
No rain, no rainbows.
Could you tell us what's going on? Yeah, the cake is en route, the tulips just arrived, and the groom is...
He's getting cold feet.
I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Look, we gotta go now. The light's perfect.
I need the stunt groom now. What's a stunt groom?
Jackpot.
Get work done now. Nextel Direct Connect with GPS tracking. Only on the Now Network.
I gotta have it, and I want it, and I need it, 'cause I love it, I gotta have it, and I want it, and I Slightest cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
The unbeatable epic taste of McDonald's Big Mac. You so want one.
I'm loving it.
Are you going to the bathroom more than ever?
You're not alone.
Waking up a lot at night to go, stopping and starting. Feeling that urgency?
You're not alone.
Lots of guys get urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. And for many of these guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Want to learn more about your urinary symptoms? You're not alone. Talk to your doctor and see if Flomax is right for you. Call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off newer refill prescriptions. For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Bottom of the sixth, it's 6-0 Chicago. We give you our Flomax replay, and this is back in the second. A bunt attempt by Dempster. And the bare hand effort by Russell Martin. Flipped it into the air, caught it with his glove to end the inning. And Soriano goes after a high hard one from Weaver, strike one. Alfonso is hitless. Hitting .248, trying to play with that bad left knee. And now the 0-1. Good spot from Weaver, 0-2.
It's become a tradition here at Wrigley Field to have a guest performer sing the Take Me Out to the Ball Game 7th inning stretch, and Larry King will be the singer today. I don't think I've ever heard Larry King sing.
He threw out the ceremonial first pitch here today and was good, impressive. Threw pretty much a strike from just in front of the pitching rubber. They're evidently having Action Hero Week here at Wrigley with their 7th inning stretch singers. They had Mr. T earlier in the week, and Larry King here today.
I have just spotted Larry King. I've been looking for him, and he is in the Cubs radio booth with Pat Kelly and Ron Santo.
Pat Hughes.
Pat Hughes, I beg your pardon.
Here it is. King, number 2.
All right, Larry. Yeah, baby.
And anywhere Larry goes, a microphone is soon to follow. It's been a weird week across baseball as we end the month of May. 0-2 to Soriano. Good pitch from Weaver. And his second strikeout. Here you go. We rewind the tape.
Some peanuts and crack good jacks.
Well, there was Jason LaRue almost getting attacked by runaway sausage. Then Zambrano snapping on Wednesday. Then in the game between the Twins and the Red Sox, both catchers and both managers were ejected. So 4 players in all. And after the strikeout of Soriano, batter is Terrio. Ball 1. Ball 2.
We talked about Zambrano a couple of innings ago, and I can empathize with Carlos, Joe, because I was that way for my first 5 years in the major leagues. I was a hothead. I thought I should get a hit every time up. I didn't think I ever should make it out. And I was frustrated one night after an at-bat against Steve Blass at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh in 1967. A check swing with the bases loaded. I went down in the tunnel. I was going to show that tunnel who was boss with my bat and my helmet and anything else I had. And Roger Maris was behind me. He had followed me down in the tunnel. And he said, do you realize what would happen to this team if you were injured? I played another 13 years, and I never threw my helmet. Ever. I didn't throw anything.
there's something to be learned in that story for a guy like Zambrano, who is the centerpiece of this rotation here at Wrigley.
That's right. I was certainly not the centerpiece of that ball club, but I was an everyday player and everything. But the light went on when Maris said that.
Looking for his 4th hit. Bradley grounds into a 4-6-3 double play, and he sends us into the 7th. Meaning we're a half inning away from Larry King singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Back after this from your local Fox station, 6-0 Cubs.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Mike Pace for the Iowa Lottery. We've added an extra week to our Big Beepin' Deal promotion. Through May 30th, if you buy 5 Powerball tickets with Power Play and hear this sound, you win $20 instantly. It's a big beepin' deal. Woohoo!
At S.J. Smith Company, Gases, Welding, Safety, and Industrial Solutions, our goal is to identify cost-effective answers to fit your unique challenges. Our repair service department is certified and the only local authorized dealer by Miller Electric Equipment. Our on-call staff will help you minimize downtime and keep your production on target. Plus, S.J. Smith has a wide selection of rental welding machines. For short or long-term rentals, call S.J. Smith and see what we can do for you. You have the questions, S.J. Smith has the answers. Allow our expertise to work for you. Find out more at sjsmith.com.
Many people think a car breakdown is going to happen, no matter what.
Most breakdowns can be prevented. The technicians at QC Auto Service Centers are highly trained to advise you and troubleshoot areas that may cause problems down the road. Is your check engine light on? When was the last time you had your hoses and belts checked? Make sure your vehicle is road ready. Drive into the QC Auto Service Center near you. QC Auto Service Centers, keeping you on the road.
Savings come alive during our pre-driven sales drive.
Green's Regional Used Car Superstore has major markdowns on every pre-driven vehicle in stock.
Drive with 0 down and no payments till September.
Get ready for spring with a 2008 Chrysler Sebring convertible for just $14,888, or a 2008 G6 hardtop convertible for just $18,888.
Over 650 used vehicles are priced to move
during our pre-driven sales drive at Green's Regional Used Car Superstore, Avenue of the Cities in East Moline.
Lolo Jones here, reminding you to keep your Iowa Powerball ticket handy. It's good for great offers to experience Iowa. Visit our website for details and learn more about this great offer.
Use your Powerball ticket to save $20 on Riverboat Twilight.
Woohoo!
You're watching Fox 18, your home for Chicago Bears preseason football action.
Welcome back to MLB on Fox. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Ryan Dempster is working on a gem here against the Dodgers. 7th inning, he's allowed 2 hits. He struck out 5, walked 1, and he delivers high for ball 1 to Loney. James is 0 for 2. He's fly to center, fly to left. And high and tight, 2-0. Loney, then Ethier, then Martin. The Dodgers have to get something going to jump back into this game. And that's off the end of the bat into right center field. Bradley makes the play, 1 out. This season, fans can use Twitter to stay connected to Fox Baseball. Followers receive alerts to original video and columns posted on foxsports.com. Photos from wherever and insights from Fox's MLB announcers as we tweet throughout the week. Follow us at twitter.com/MLB on Fox. Bob Myers with our caricatures and adding Mr. T to the group. Kenny, aka Norman Fell. Tim, who looks rugged. Me, who looks like a gigantic headed dweeb, and then Mr. T. That's down the right field line, and extra bases for Ethier. Bradley gets it back in. Good play by Bradley, but a double either way you look at it. 1 on, 1 out. Bob Myers does great work.
Oh, he does.
And adds a lot to our broadcasts on a weekly basis. And now adding the 3rd hit to the scoreboard is Andre Ethier. 1 on, 1 out.
It is in some ways more difficult to catch with a big lead. You've heard that expression, It's difficult to pitch with a big lead. It's difficult to catch with one. Also, the one thing you try to do, number one, you try to eliminate walks more than anything. Make them hit to get on and try to call your game as though the game were close. And that's a very dicey issue when you're trying to avoid the walks.
Here is Russell Martin. First pitch, a strike from Ryan Dempster. And the next is outside, a ball and a strike. I sent Steve Horn, our editorial consultant, on a chase to figure out why Russell Martin has J. Martin on his uniform top on his back over his number. His middle name is Jeanson, Jeanson, and it's his salute to his mom. So he's got J. Martin on his back, but he is still R. Martin on your scorecard. 1 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
May know the story. Russell Martin, growing up in Montreal, his dad, to make extra money, was a busker. I didn't know what a busker was until I read that in his profile last year.
Fly ball into right. Glass is on. Bradley makes the catch, has his momentum going forward. Good play, 2 out.
A busker is someone who plays music for money, and that's what Russell's dad did to try to bring in extra cash for the Martin household.
So with 2 out, Martin is back in the dugout, and Mark Loretta stands in. So Loretta has had a nice career, bouncing around, playing second, playing third, playing some short, play anywhere, and he can hit as Corey Wade, the right-hander, gets loose for LA in their bullpen. Runner at second, 2 out. Dempster is trying to get through 7 strong. That's foul. Loretta has bounced back to the pitcher Dempster twice. One time took a pretty good play to get the out. And that's outside. Ryan Dempster was the closer for the Cubs. 2005 to 2007, had 85 saves during that stretch. Returned to the rotation last year, was an all-star, had a perfect inning, struck out the side in the all-star game at Yankee Stadium. 17-6 was his record for the year, and an ERA of 2.96. And he gave innings, 206 innings total. But as we mentioned, all he thought about over the offseason, I'm sure, after he signed his contract extension through 2012, was that Division Series Game 1 loss when he couldn't go 5, walked 7, and his Cubs lost to the Dodgers 7-2 at the start of that 3-game sweep. 2 away from 100 pitches on the day, and he has a 2-2 count on Loretta. Kemp, the number 8 hitter, on deck. No action for the Cubs in their pen. The 2-2. Line drive into right, well hit. Bradley is back and puts it away. Larry King is seconds away. A 1-out double. Dodgers have left 4, trail by 6. Time to stretch at Wrigley.
To everyone who plays in the sun, waterproof and sweatproof sunscreen can wear out before you do, leaving skin vulnerable to the sun's damaging rays. New Neutrogena Ultimate Sport, the best line of sports sunblock. With Helioplex technology, it helps provide the highest average UVA, UVB protection, and is also 3 times more waterproof than testing standards. Play on with Ultimate Sport from Neutrogena Sun Care, recommended most by dermatologists.
Hey, Earth. Come here.
Time for a little come to dentist meeting. Your parents were right, your teachers were right, even that creepy scoutmaster with the tight brown shorts was right. TV is slowly rotting your brain and turning it into a slimy, gooey, mushy blob of pudding, and there's nothing you can do about it. See? I just told you what was happening, and you're still watching TV. Amazing. But this whole slowly part is getting to be a real problem. Well, guess what? Hulu. We built Hulu to pump thousands of hours of free TV right into the one screen you drag around everywhere. Hence... Now I need you to take your stubby little human fingers and hit this button on Hulu. Then you can share those TV shows in your bliggity blogs and your facey spaces and your tweety pages for all your bookwormy anti-boob-to-be friends. So here's the deal. Help us churn their finely cultured skull beef down to the aforementioned pudding, and we'll slurp out yours last. Eh? Yeah, because we're aliens. And you ain't soup yet.
Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
It's back, it's beefed up, and better than ever. It's Applebee's 2 for $20 menu, now including real burgers. Two of you can get one appetizer, 2 entrees, and a real night out for just $20. Choose a classic like our 7-ounce house sirloin and Oriental chicken salad. Or one of Applebee's Real at First Bite real burgers. Made fresh, slammed with flavor, and stacked high with the stuff you love most. Real variety, real value, real deal. 2 for $20 is back. Only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Taco Bell, sponsored by Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar for a limited time only. By Zantac, heartburn, attack it, Zantac. And by Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Jeff Weaver pitches to Derek Lee, ball 1 inside. Just for the education of our producer Pete Macheska and our director Bill Webb, who, when I read that tagline for Hulu, when I said enjoy, it's a website where you can get a lot of clips from anything you might want to see that's been on TV in high def on the web. So that's why we ask you to enjoy. We're going to give you the Hulu game summary and ask you to enjoy that after this pitch on 2-0 from Jeff Weaver, who's trying to eat some innings here late in the ball game. Lee chops it foul. Here you go. Hulu game summary. Fontenot's had a nice day. Dempster's outstanding. 3 hits, 7 innings, no runs. Bradley 3 or 4. You're reading ahead. That's not fair. And Tim reviews Larry King's performance. He nailed it. Game summary brought to you by Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy. 2 balls and a strike and a foul backing out of play. 2-2.
Larry King nailed Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
There is no doubt.
Woo, that was good.
I don't know that I'd give it a woo.
Well, I mean, for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, it was a woo.
I mean, Tony Bennett would get like a woo.
Well, I mean, for Larry King, that's as good as Larry King can do.
I don't know that to be the case. I've never heard him sing it before. Maybe that was an average performance by Larry.
No, that was as good as he can do.
Here's a pop-up to the right side. We'll let you judge for yourselves. Is this the woo? Listen.
Cub fans, Dodger fans, everybody, everywhere. This is our song. Let's hear it. 1, 2. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, so it's root for the... If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Woo. Yeah.
Here's a whoop into left field off the bat of Reed Johnson. It's 7-0 Chicago. Third of the year for Reed Johnson. He takes Jeff Weaver out to left. And Reed Johnson has had a perfect day at the plate, on base 4 times, and it's 7-zip Cubs.
Yeah, just think about what Reed Johnson has done today. He single scored the first run of the game for the Cubs. He had a bunt base hit with 2 outs and a runner on at third base to drive in a run. And after a walk, he now homers. What a day for a good little player, as Lou Piniella would say.
Trying to get on a roll here at Wrigley are the Chicago Cubs, now a game over 500 on their way to their 25th win of the year, and this ball was crushed.
Wind blowing in here at Wrigley today, and the balls that get out when the wind is blowing in are the balls that really go under the wind, the low line drives, and that's what Reed Johnson did. What a day he has had.
The 1-1. Strike 2 on Soto, who lost his grip on the bat. 1-2.
I don't get a woof in that explanation. I don't suppose that line drive was under the wind, but it was under the arc where the wind would affect it. I think that would be better said, right? Kind of tough to hit a line drive under the wind. Right.
You know, I didn't have a problem with it. I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's hit a golf ball knows you.
Yeah.
Tee low, a little stinger hit from Tiger Woods. You don't want to deal with the wind.
Right.
Seagulls are invading Wrigley Field right now. Look at this. Wait, where's Billy Webb? These seagulls are flying around center field. What's going on? Singing of Larry King has brought out the seagulls. They're headed our way. Three balls, 2 strikes. They're a little off. Usually the birds are here when the game is finished, because we started at 3. Seagulls had set their daily planner for a little feeding here at 5:25, but we're still playing. A 1-out walk from Weaver, and our Gillette trivia question. Gillette, focus on power. Name the 2 second basemen with 25+ home runs in 4 consecutive seasons. 2 second basemen, 25+ home runs in 4 consecutive seasons.
I would have to take an initial guess and say one of those second basemen is a guy, a Hall of Famer here, who was the MVP in 1984, Ryne Sandberg.
He would be on my list. Maybe Jeff Kent would be on my list.
Yep.
Former Dodger. Brent Leach will take over. We can't get enough. It's the fist of power.
It's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Yes!
A lot of Hyundai owners lately have been saying great things about their cars. For free. Well, the way we see it, spokespeople should get a cut. So now with Hyundai Assurance, you do. Buy a new Santa Fe and Hyundai will send you money every month for the rest of the year. And if you lose your income in the next 12 months, you can still return the car, but keep the money, your credit rating, and your integrity. Seems like something else that'll get people talking.
Sometimes the best way to get closer is to get as far away from it all as possible. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra is America's most prescribed ED treatment. It's been proven to help men with all degrees of ED. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. 20 million men have had the Viagra conversation. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
I race to win. I gain a competitive edge over my opponents by knowing when it's the perfect time to change my tires. Even the best things wear out. So when it comes to shaving, I know when to change my blade.
Gillette Fusion's indicator strip fades to white when it may be time to change.
Because when I'm in my best, I win on every level. Fresh blade, better shave.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
With the Birds continuing to circle around out in the outfield here at Wrigley, we're in the bottom of the 7th, and the left-hander Brent Leach takes over. 12th game, ERA over 5, and he deals with the switch-hitting Bobby Scales, and he fires a strike. Matt Kemp is out there dodging birds as he looks in at ball 1 that's delivered from Leach. Ken, are you safe down there with these birds flying around?
So far, so good, Joe. During the break, Cubs third base coach Mike Quaddy was kind of looking at the birds, just laughing. And he came over to me and said,
"Go ahead, that's all right."
He said there's been a long time since they had this much fun in the ballpark with this big a lead.
Yeah, it has been a while for the Cubs. Runs have been hard to come by. Birds they know the inning is over, circling around, getting a little stretch. Let's go to the 8th, 7-0 Chicago.
Pepsi's got another hit on their hands, and it's called Pepsi Throwback. Introducing Pepsi Throwback, made with natural sugar, only for a limited time. Sing it, baby. Pepsi! Sing it about Pepsi!
Logic says you can't pound a nail where you can't swing a hammer. So much for logic. The Craftsman Auto Hammer. The hammer that goes where other hammers can't. Driving home nails with the touch of a button. Innovation. Better value. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
The line between like and love? You crossed it. Let the world know. Put your favorite team logo on your credit card, check card, and checks with MLB Banking. Only from Bank of America.
Is that a new Volkswagen Routan?
It's like Deja Van, man.
Can I make a confession? I love minivans.
Routan's got German engineering.
I'd love to take it for a test drive sometime.
You know what they say. Once you go minivan, you never go back again.
You're bad.
I know.
It's the 89-cent grilled chicken burrito.
This is only 88 cents.
Ooh, 89. See you tomorrow.
Tender grilled chicken, avocado ranch sauce. It's the new grilled chicken burrito, and it's only 89 cents. Why pay more?
Andres Blanco takes over at second base. He will bat in the number 9 spot. And Angel Guzman is the new pitcher for Chicago as he takes over here in the 8th inning with the Cubs up 7-0. Matt Kemp is first up. Then Jamie Hoffman will pinch hit. And a strike from Guzman. Cubs have scored in every half inning except the 1st and 6th. There hasn't been that one blowout inning, but they have put the pressure on all day. And it's our Just for Men holds graphic. Just for Men hair color holds leader. We've got Marmol, Redondo, Madsen, Mott, and Affeldt on on that list so far in 09 as a foul is out of play off to the right. Just as those pitchers kept their teams in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color, as Corey Wade, who was throwing last inning, is at it again. 0-2 is the count on Kemp, who has a hit. He is struck out. And that one's fouled back to the screen. Still 0-2.
One of the areas where the Cubs have really improved is their bullpen, and they're going to be stronger when Sean Marshall, who is tomorrow's starter, gets back in the bullpen, because that's going to give Lou Piniella a left-handed option that he only has one of right now, and that's Jason Waddell. He's the only left-hander in the bullpen, but Sean Marshall is scheduled to start tomorrow. And then when Rich Harden comes back, Harden will be in the rotation and Marshall will go to the bullpen.
Harden has started to throw a baseball again. His back is feeling better. That's a broken bat base hit into left. Kemp is 2 for 3. Soriano chases the birds out of the way, pushes them over toward right center, and Kemp has his second hit and on to start the 8th. Take a look at the Bank of America fan cam. Want to show the world it's not like, it's love. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America. The fans here at Wrigley on a beautiful day in Chicago. Leadoff man is on, and at the plate is Jamie Hoffman. Hit a home run in his first start, and a young player from New Ulm, Minnesota, about 90 miles from Minneapolis. Grew up as a hockey player as well, and was an 8th-round pick 6 years ago by the Carolina Hurricanes. Started this year at Double-A, went to Triple-A, and now he's in the big leagues, and he takes a strike from Guzman. It's 1-1.
It's a feel-good story for the Dodgers. By the way, New Ulm, Minnesota, the hometown of Terry Steinbach, formerly the catcher with the Oakland Athletics and the Minnesota Twins.
Here's a 1-1. Left side, charged by Fontenot. Good play, out at second and out at first. Brilliantly turned with Fontenot starting, but outstanding in the middle by Blanco.
This is big time right here. Watch the turn by Blanco with Kemp bearing down. Well done.
Score at 5-4-3 with Fontenot to Blanco and on to first. And that's about as tough a double play to turn, and done beautifully by Blanco in the middle, who got dumped by the runner Matt Kemp.
Well, if you miss a second baseman with your legs, you try to clip him with your arm. It's perfectly legitimate, and that's what Kemp did. But Blanco still turned the double play.
A 1-0 to Juan Pierre is grounded back to Guzman. Gets it, throws it, bottom of the 8th, rolls in at Wrigley. Cubs are having fun today. Good play by Blanco out at second base. 7-0 Chicago.
At 155 miles per hour, Andy Roddick has the fastest serve in the history of professional tennis. So I've come to this court to challenge his speed on the internet. I'll be using the 3G AT&T Laptop Connect card. He won't. So I can book travel plans faster, check my account balances faster, all on the go. I'm Bill Curtis, and I'm faster than Andy Roddick.
Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
King-Ons. Star Trek movie glasses, $1.99 each with any BK value meal. Collect them all before the King-Ons do.
How bad is your heartburn?
My heartburn? It's like a volcano in my chest. Boom! But one Zantac later, and that volcano is history. All day or all night.
Heartburn, attack it. Zantac.
See, the high life is about celebrating, not separating. We coming for your VIPs, and we ain't the paparazzi. We looking for the little fuzzy rope. How you doing? Yeah, we're not on that. I can guarantee that. Excuse us. Thank you so much. Paying extra money so other people can't sit next to you. Did you know know where I come from, we party together with a good, honest beer at a tasty price. Fuzzy rope to make y'all feel more important. Common sense ain't on the guest list. These people know how to do it. That's it. Hey!
Captain, we have 4 hours to comply with their demands.
Since you can't end this standoff, you will miss my army crushed to pitiful humans on TV tonight.
Don't worry about it. I have DirecTV. I can easily set my home DVR and record the movie right from here.
Impressive technology for a human.
Humans are smarter than apes.
With DirecTV, you can easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Taco Bell, sponsored by Miller High Life, good honest beer at a tasty price, by AT&T, your world delivered, and by Just for Men. Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. What a day. And up above, aerial coverage brought to all of us by DirecTV. Get every baseball game across the big leagues in HD this season with DirecTV. New pitcher's Corey Wade. And that ball skipped in there to Fontenot. When the Cubs brought in Guzman, they did not use a double switch. So the pitcher's still batting in the number 9 spot. And Hoffpower has come into the on-deck circle to bat for Guzman. And Aaron Heilman will take over in the 9th. Here's a 1-1 from Corey Wade, who was so good out of the bullpen last year for the Dodgers, who made it all the way to the NLCS, losing to the eventual world champion Philadelphia Phillies. Fontenot's had a big day. 1-2 pitch skips in there. Mike has been intentionally walked. Hit an RBI triple, scored a run, and a 2-out RBI double to get the scoring started back in the 2nd. 7-0 Chicago, bottom of the 8th. And Fontenot rolls one over to first. Loney makes the play himself. 1 out. Today's trivia question brought to you by Gillette. Focus on power. And there's the answer at the bottom. The 2 second baseman with 25+ home runs in 4 consecutive seasons. Ryan Sandberg from 89 through 92, and Alfonso Soriano did it from 02 to 05.
That's tricky. You don't think of Soriano, who was a second baseman for the New York Yankees, and then for a while with the Washington Nationals, and now when he came to the Cubs, left fielder.
Here is Hoffpower, who can really hit. Cubs have an interesting situation in that they've got a couple of players who they really like swinging the bat. Micah Hoffpower from the left side. Jake Fox, who they just called up, who was just tearing up AAA. The problem is, in a perfect world, they would both be playing first base. Hoffpower went around. That's strike 2. First base is occupied by Derek Lee, so Hoffpower plays some outfield. And they may at some point feel comfortable enough to put Jake Fox at third base just to get his bat in the lineup.
He has been working with Alan Trammell, the infield coach, for the last week. He can hit. So can this guy.
Ball 1 just inside.
It's a very difficult situation for a National League club, because obviously you don't have the designated hitter. If the Cubs were an American League club, it would be much simpler to play Hoffpower.
It's a strikeout. Martin has an odd throw and makes it perfectly 2 out.
Or to play Jake Fox. I mean, American League clubs would love to have those 2 guys, but this is the National League.
Tomorrow, NASCAR on Fox will be in Dover, Delaware, as Kyle Busch tries to defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing, presented by McDonald's, from Dover, begins tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, in high definition, right here on Fox. 2 out. And here is Soriano, who has not had a good day swinging the bat. And with a backhanded pickup, long throw by Loretta. Soriano is 0 for 5. His day is over. And we go to the 9th. 7-0 Chicago out in front. beautiful Saturday at Wrigley.
Fried. Grilled. Fried.
Grilled. Fried.
Grilled.
Right.
Grilled.
Chicken. Kentucky Grilled Chicken.
Kentucky Grilled Chicken. I like the sound of that. I may have spoken too soon.
If you think KFC is all about fried chicken, it's time to unthink. New Kentucky Grilled Chicken is here. Marinated and grilled to perfection for that 5-star fall-off-the-bone taste. Mix original and grilled in your bucket. 10 delicious pieces for just $9.99.
How we can have both?
Tasty on fried side of KFC.
I've had some issues with personal assistants, so I got myself this Samson Jack. The last assistant must have had hearing problems. You know, where you shot and getting to before. Right. The bloke before him kept very strange hours.
Good morning, Mr. Osborne.
But this new Samson Jack's great. Emails, shopping, this scheduling thingy. It even helps me around the house.
Prepare to turn left.
Oh, this is new.
Samsung Jack, the personal assistant, perfected.
What do you guys got under there?
Critics are calling The Hangover the breakout comedy of the summer.
And cough.
So it's possible that this will turn into that?
Genuinely funny.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Dizzyingly hilarious. Oh, classic.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
Wow. From the director of Old School.
Is that a baby?
Why would there be a baby? It's a goat.
The Hangover, rated R. Starts June 5th.
How bad is your heartburn?
My heartburn? It's like a volcano in my chest. Boom! But one Zantac later, and that volcano is history. All day or all night.
Heartburn, attack it. Zantac.
Discover an ale that's dry hopped and top fermented for a bright, hoppy finish. Budweiser American Ale. What's an American ale? Discover for yourself. Budweiser American Ale.
Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair.
Your beard is weird.
Just for Men Gel.
Gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
His edge is back. He scores! Just for men. Keep your edge.
Cubs wrapping up their 25th win of the season, trying to win the second game of this 4-game series. They lost the opener on Thursday, winning yesterday 2-1 and leading here 7-0 as they turn it over to Aaron Heilman for the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due for the Dodgers. First up is for Call, and that's ball 2-0. For Call is 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. There's a strike for Call, taking all the way 2-1.
Aaron Heilman, one guy the Cubs, Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, said they've got to get straightened out. He is a key member of their bullpen.
The 2-1 pitch is fouled back. 2-2. Yeah, any bullpen is constructed with the idea that certain pitchers are going to fill certain roles, and Heilman was always going to be one of the primary setup relievers, along with Marmol setting up Kevin Gregg, or Gregg setting up Marmol, whatever it was. But Heilman was a big addition the Cubs thought coming in, and he's still trying to get it all together. Here's a 2-2 that's just up and in, full count.
Here's a guy who grew up in nearby Logansport, Indiana. Went to Notre Dame, and everybody knows how important Notre Dame is to the city of Chicago.
3-2 pitch. Another foul.
And how popular and tradition. I guess South Bend's about, what, 80 miles from here, I think.
Not much of a drive.
No.
Give you a game break after Furcal does something to start this 9th inning. After Furcal, it's Hudson, then James Loney, if anybody gets on 8th year. For the Dodgers, who have been shut out on 4 hits. 3-2 pitch is tapped foul again. talked about it last year during the postseason that Joe Torre was absolutely blown away at what kind of a player Rafael Furcal is on an everyday basis. Not knowing him, seeing him from a distance from the other dugout, he never had an appreciation for what kind of a team player he is, and he's on with a leadoff hit to start the ninth, and we give you a DirecTV game break. Bottom of the seventh, 2-1 Atlanta. 1 on, 1 out. Chris Young singles to left field, scoring Ryan Roberts. It's a 2-2 game as Young ties it in the bottom of the seventh. Now they're in the bottom of the ninth. Watch your favorite MLB team no matter where you live with DirecTV. Here's Orlando Hudson. 0 for 2 with a walk. Came in with the most hits in the National League, 69 hits. Ball one low. Among second basemen, only Aaron Hill of the Toronto Blue Jays has a higher average. Blue Jays have taken a tumble in the AL East. Now Heilman falls behind 2-0, and they start to groan here at Wrigley.
Beat the Red Sox for the second consecutive time this afternoon, but you're right. I mean, they have at one time I think 6 games ahead of the Yankees. Now the Yankees in first place in the American League East.
Yankees won last night in Cleveland 3-1. Pett had hurt his back in that game. Mariano Rivera got the save. Yankees play later. Red Sox have lost. The Blue Jays beat them. So with the Yankees sending out their big high-priced left-hander CC Sabathia against his former team, the Cleveland Indians, they have a 1-game lead over Toronto and Boston. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Hudson. 3-0.
I think a major concern, Joe, with each mounting day, the continued fall of David Ortiz and the Boston Red Sox. What's going to happen? Batting .184 with 1 home run going into this afternoon's game.
How about a 4-pitch walk to Orlando Hudson after a leadoff hit by Furcal? And a visit from Larry Rothschild as action will start for the Cubs in their bullpen, and now Marmol has to get loose.
Yeah, once again we talked about Larry Rothschild telling us before the game that the one guy in the bullpen the Cubs have to straighten out is Aaron Heilman. And a base hit by Furcal on a 3-2 count, and now a walk to Hudson.
Pepsi is the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and they congratulate Reed Johnson, today's MLB clutch performer of the game. It's presented by Pepsi. It could have gone to Reed Johnson, certainly Ryan Dempster, Milt Bradley, Mike Fontenot. Johnson hit his 3rd home run of the season in this game. To learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com. You can visit that site. Check out some of the clutch performers across the major leagues. Here's Loney, who could take a bite out of this 7-0 lead for the Cubs in the 9th, and he takes a strike. You know, the Cubs, after having Marmol pitch yesterday, would have loved to have gone through this game not having to even get Marmol loose in their bullpen. But he is getting ready as the count goes to 1-1 on Loney from Aaron Heilman.
Yeah, by using Marmol today, then the chances of the Cubs winning tomorrow, the odds would be greater because of the extra work for Marmol.
That skips in, so struggling and trying to find a rhythm and a groove is Heilman. It's 2-1.
You may win a ball game, but what toll does it take on the bullpen in the process of winning a game? You understand that in a 4-3, 3-2 game, something like that. But when you have a 7-run lead, you want to clamp it down and not have to go to your main guys in the bullpen.
And Heilman hasn't been close. 3-1. Oney backs out, looks at third base coach Larry Boa. Like they verbally just said, take a pitch. Let's see if he does. Three balls and a strike. He does, and it's a full count. Dodgers 34-16, 4-1 on a 7-game trip. They swept Colorado, won the opener here, lost yesterday, and trail here this afternoon. 3-2 pitch. Double play ball. Terrio in the middle on a 4-6-3 twin killing takes the pressure off this 9th inning for Heilman. Blanco to Terrio and on to Derek Lee.
That's taking the positive approach, thinking that a pitcher with runners on at first and second and nobody out is one pitch away from getting 2 outs, and Heilman did that.
Now Ethier trying to extend this game, and the fans were left here at this ballpark, and there are plenty of them standing and applauding Chicago. Strike one to Ethier. Today's game produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Bill Webb, editorial consultant Steve Horn, the associate director Darren Foster, broadcast associate is Brian Biederman, technical producer Matt Benedict, our statisticians Wayne Fiddleman. Pre-game show produced by Don Bowie, senior producer of Fox Sports Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports David Hill and Ed Gorin. Here's a 1-1 on the inside corner, strike 2. Saw Jonathan Evans down in our truck prior to today's game as well. It's been a fun afternoon. A lot of action here at Wrigley Field in a 7-0 Chicago lead. 1-2 pitch to Ethier. 2-2. Call led off with a hit. He's at third with 2 out. Heilman trying to preserve a shutout. Good pitch off the hands of Ethier. Good pitching in this series for Chicago, with Randy Wells on Thursday, Ted Lilly yesterday, Ryan Dempster today. Tomorrow it's a night game and a matchup of Sean Marshall, 3-3, good ERA, against Eric Milton. Coming off a win, he's 1-0. A 2-2 to the second baseman, comes up on Blanco, and this game is over. Cubs win it 7-0. We will take a break, come back, and wrap up our afternoon at Wrigley Field. Handshakes from Lou Piniella out of the dugout, and the Cubs have won 2 straight. Back with more from Chicago after a word from your local Fox station.
Parkinson's has given me something I'm truly grateful for. The chance to make a difference in the lives of millions of patients.
The Michael J. Fox Foundation does not just fund research, it funds results.
By finding the science that will lead to breakthrough treatments.
And speed progress toward a cure.
The Michael J. Fox Foundation
and Fox Sports ask you to join our team.
Because it takes a major league effort to strike out Parkinson's. Please go to michaeljfox.org.
Mike Pace for the Iowa Lottery. We've added an extra week to our Big Beepin' Deal promotion. Through May 30th, if you buy 5 Powerball tickets with PowerPlay and hear this sound, you win $20 instantly. It's a big beepin' deal. Woohoo!
All right, so you're driving down the freeway doing about 60 when you notice the guy next to you is steering with his knees, eating a cheeseburger and talking on the phone. And that is exactly why the Ford F-150 is the safest truck in America. It's It's got a high-strength steel safety cage, side impact airbags, safety canopy, 5-star crash rating, and roll stability control. Because it's not just crazy out there, it's certifiably insane, okay? It's not just a pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150.
Lolo Jones here, reminding you to keep your Iowa Powerball ticket handy. It's good for great offers to experience Iowa. Visit our website for details and learn more about this great offer.
Use your Powerball ticket to save $20 on Riverboat Twilight.
They will fly the white flag, and they already have it up to denote the Cub victory here. 7-0 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. The winner is Dempster, the loser Stoltz. Tonight on Fox, Cops at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, followed by America's Most Wanted. Tomorrow, NASCAR on Fox will be coming to you live from Dover, Delaware at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific for Sprint Cup Racing presented by McDonald's. And next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, see either the Phillies take on the Dodgers, the Indians against the White Sox, or the Twins at the Mariners. Today's promotional consideration was provided by the following. Right at the top of the hour. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and Sunday. For more info on today's game, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN, the world's favorite sports site. This is Joe Buck for Tim McCarver and Ken Rosenthal. From all of us at Fox, so long from Wrigley. Cubs beat the Dodgers 7-0.
Think about the people on your phone. Whose number did you get first? Who do you call the most? With My Contacts Backup from US Cellular, they're all stored for you. So no matter what happens to your phone, your numbers stay just how you imagine them. US Cellular, believe in something better.
With the strength of over 100 years of automobile manufacturing behind us, Ford is looking forward and standing tough. With available credit, unmatched quality, and 0% financing, getting into a Ford has never been easier. And get the protection of the Ford Advantage Plan, a better plan to get you into an F-150, Super Duty, or Ranger. If you lose your job, we'll make your payments for 12 months at up to $7.